It's the last Friday of the month of May in the year 2026. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning News. This is the first bulletin right here on TV3. This bulletin is coming to you live from the news app here at Addis Ababa. We are live on Facebook as TV3 Ghana and on DSTV channel 279. My name is Josh Quinning. Top of the stories is out. Finance Minister assures that Ghana will not be returning to the IMF in the foreseeable future. Evacuation of Ghanaians from South Africa sparks backlash online with growing calls for economic retaliation against South African businesses. Also coming up this morning, President John Dramani Mahama says Ghana's economic transformation demands deeper reforms, saying citizens expect systems that deliver opportunities that drive growth. We have details of these and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes if you spend your time with me. We also want to hear from you. We are active on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. The news begins now. The Finance Minister, Dr. Kesilato Forson, has assured that Ghana will no longer require a financial bailout from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, in the foreseeable future. According to him, fiscal prudence and discipline have helped move Ghana's economy from the intensive care unit, ICU, to the wellness center. Take a listen.
Addressing Parliament on Thursday, May 28, Dr. Kesilato Forson stated that Ghana's engagement with the IMF will now shift from financial support to focus on reforms.
For Ghana, this marks an important shift from seeking financial bailout to engaging as a credible reform partner while continuing to benefit from policy discipline, external validation, and strengthened investor confidence. Mr. Speaker, the PCI will enable us to continue leveraging the IMF's regular policy assessment and expertise as a signal to investors, thereby certifying the credibility of our stewardship and further strengthening our credit rating.
The Finance Minister also criticized the Akufo-Addo administration for undermining the IMF program, resulting in the country missing key targets.
Ordinary Ghanaians bore the heaviest burden of that crisis. The consequences were felt across households, businesses, and institutions through rapid depreciation of the currency. It is important to recount this, to dwell on the past, not to dwell on the past, but to remind ourselves of the heavy price of fiscal indiscipline and economic recklessness, and to affirm our collective resolve that Ghana must never again return to that path.
He also outlined measures being implemented by the government to achieve macroeconomic stability.
We introduced the Public Financial Management Act and introduced commitment authorization to control government expenditure. The Speaker, we audited government arrests and payables to eliminate recycled IPCs and overpayment. We stopped the misuse of tax refund account to finance schemes such as SML. The Speaker, we amended the PFM Act to institutionalize a 1.5% of GDP primary surplus and 45% debt to GDP by 2034. Mr. Speaker, we reduced government ministries from 30 to 23. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm pleased to report that these measures have produced clear and measurable results.
Still on the economy, President John Dramani Mahama says Ghana's economic transformation demands deeper reforms as citizens expect systems that deliver and opportunities that drive growth. He made the remarks at the 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Awards, which seeks to recognize outstanding CEOs for their exceptional roles in their various industries. It also featured the launch of Compact 2026.
President Mahama at the 10th Ghana CEO Summit underscored the critical role of the private sector in driving economic growth, reaffirming the government's unwavering commitment to reforms.
Made in Ghana must stand for quality, consistency, and reliability. It should not merely be a patriotic slogan that we espouse. It should become a mark of confidence in African and global markets that Ghanaian products are quality. And so the compact we have received today is intended to serve as a high-level partnership framework between government and the business community, promoting accountability, innovation, competitiveness, and productivity.
The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority Anthony Kwesi Sapon, announced that the integrated tax application system will soon be connected to SNIT, the Passport Office, and the Registrar of Companies to strengthen compliance and transparency.
As you register a business, automatically you'll be in the GRS system. ITAS will integrate with SNIT. So for those who pay SNIT, pension is important, but do not pay taxes so we can build the roads and schools. ITAS will help us find you. ITAS will integrate with the Passports Authority. We found so many Ghanaians with assets and income outside the country. And we see that you register with your passport, actually, when you're opening the account. So ITAS will help us find you. It's simple.
Stakeholders emphasize the need to move beyond ideas to measurable outcomes, embrace technology to create real impact, and confront unemployment as a national threat. Meanwhile, several CEOs were honored for their exceptional contributions to their respective industries, including Media General Group CEO,
Media TV Sector CEO of the Year, Media General, CEO, Madam Beatrice Ajimala.
Under the theme, Accelerating Ghana's Economic Transformation, the 10th Ghana CEO Summit brought together industry game changers from banking, communications, technology, and other sectors.
And now the Ghana Employers Association, GIA, has called on government to sustain the country's macroeconomic stability to enable businesses to expand operations and employ more workers. Labour Affairs correspondent Daniel Poko engaged the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Employers Association, Alex Frimpong, and has filed this report.
Since 2025, Ghana's economy has shown significant improvement, bringing renewed confidence to many employers and businesses across the country. By the end of last year, inflation had dropped sharply to 5.3% from the 23.8% recorded in 2024. The country also recorded an overall GDP growth of 5.5%, while the cedi remained relatively stable against major trading currencies. Figures from the Ghana Statistical Service further indicate that between 330,000 and 690,000 new jobs were created by businesses and entrepreneurs across the country in 2025. Despite these gains, youth unemployment remains a major concern, with about 13% of young people between the ages of 15 and 24 still without jobs. The Ghana Employers Association, GEA, is asking the government not to relent in maintaining the positive economic indicators. Alex Frimpong is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Employers Association.
Let's pray that there's economic progress, there's economic stability, and when businesses are comfortable about the economy, not to worry about one step forward, three steps backwards, I'm sure we should be able to witness an economic improvement that is commensurate with employment creation.
He added that discipline, fiscal responsibility, and policy consistency will be crucial in protecting the gains achieved so far.
It means that the employers are satisfied?
Well, we are not satisfied, or we are not there yet, but at least the signs show that businesses can predict, businesses can forecast what is going to happen. And for me, if a business have that type of arrangement, then it helps in planning, in forecasting.
Meanwhile, employers are hopeful about improving economic conditions, with many expected to consider recruiting more workers if the current stability is sustained.
Away from issues relating to the economy, some 35 residents in Weija have been evacuated to safer locations by the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, as authorities intensify rescue efforts following the continuous spillage of the Weija Dam by the Ghana Water Company. Several homes in Weija, Tetegu, and surrounding communities have been submerged, forcing many residents to flee their homes in search of safety.
The ongoing spillage from the Weija water treatment plant has led to rising water levels across affected communities, destroying properties and displacing thousands of families. A visit to the area on Thursday saw residents hurriedly moving their belongings to nearby communities, while others sought temporary shelter with relatives and friends. Later, a delegation from the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, led by the Regional Minister, Linda Akwele Oklu, together with military personnel, and NADMO officials toured some of the flood-hit communities to assess the extent of damage and ongoing rescue operations. The Greater Accra Regional NADMO Director disclosed that at least 35 residents had already been evacuated and accommodated in temporary shelters set up by the organization.
The dam will still be open as far as we receive heavy rains from Insawam. This dam is being fed by another dam at Insawam. So it means that as it's full now, it means that Insawam is spilling at full capacity. So this one, they are controlling the spillage. Now they are operating above their maximum operation level, that is 47 feet. They are doing 42 as of today. And these are updates that we receive from Ghana Water on daily basis. And we communicate same to the communities, so they are aware.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Akwili-Oklu, appealed to residents to cooperate with emergency officials and relocate to safer areas to avoid casualties.
We are only pleading with them, like I said, they should agree to the evacuation, understand and evacuate. In fact, their life matters more than even everything. Sometimes they value their property than relocating, and so we plead with them that they should agree to it. I mean, this is a temporary arrangement we are doing. We'll bring them back when the place is okay.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Company says the controlled spillage of the Weja Dam will continue as long as water levels remain above operational capacity, raising concerns that more downstream communities could be affected in the coming days. Flooding in the catchment area in the Weja water treatment plant is not new. The Weja headworks sits on the Densu River, with the plant supplying about 80% of potable water to parts of Accra and its environs. Authorities have looked on while land within the dam's catchment area has been sold for residential development, threatening the safety and integrity of the dam. This attitude appears to permeate almost every aspect of national life in Ghana, and if nothing is done to address the trend, a future disaster could be far more devastating, leading to the loss of lives and properties. Joseph Armstrong, Good Alibo TV3, Weja, Accra.
The Weja Dam spillage appears to be an annual thing, so let's hear from you. We are active on Facebook at TV3 Ghana, and share with us whatever your opinions are. We'll hopefully read them and share them to the rest of the world. And the evacuation of hundreds of Ghanaians from South Africa following renewed xenophobic attacks is now fueling a much broader conversation here at home. What began as outrage over the attack is gradually evolving into deeper questions about economic sovereignty, foreign investment, and whether Ghana should rethink how its strategic resources are managed. And at the center of that debate is Goldfields Takwa mining lease. And here's reports by Safa Boyim.
For many Ghanaians following the developments in South Africa, the reactions online go beyond frustration over xenophobic attacks. On Wednesday, 297 Ghanaians evacuated from South Africa returned home after renewed attacks targeting foreign nationals. Since then, social media has been flooded with reactions, but increasingly the conversation is shifting beyond diplomacy. One hashtag now gaining traction is hashtag Don't Renew Goldfields Lease, a campaign urging government not to renew the Takwa mining lease held by South African mining giant Goldfields. The company's current lease is expected to expire in 2027, but beneath the hashtag lies a deeper national conversation. While others want the government to retaliate, international relations expert Professor Daniel Kipo believes otherwise.
I wouldn't suggest that immediately we should embark on kind of revenge, and that will defeat the continent totally. But what we only need to let South African authority know is that just as they think that African citizens are not needed in their country, they should know that their citizens are all over the 54 African states. And they are there for various reasons. Some of them business, some of them schooling, some of them, they have various. And South Africa has a great investment in African countries. Nigeria, they have great investment. Ghana here, South African companies exist. So they only need to know that what they are doing, if they don't check it, it may have a dire consequences for their citizens and dire consequences for their own businesses in South Africa.
Some social media users say movements like this should push Ghana to strengthen local participation in key sectors of the economy. Others argue Ghana's natural resources must deliver more long-term value directly to Guineans. For now, what started as reactions to xenophobic attacks in South Africa is steadily opening a much larger national conversation in Ghana, not only about diplomacy and accountability, but also about ownership, opportunity, and who truly benefits from the country's natural wealth. Safa Waini, TV3 News.
In more news this morning, Minister for the Interior has touted the National Identification Authority (NIA) as one that has transformed from a conceptualized initiative into a resilient and confiscated biometric identification system that strengthens national security and enhances service delivery. Speaking at the launch of the 20th anniversary celebrations of the authority in Accra, Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak said government will continue to support NIA in addressing emerging trends in the fields of identity management. The National Identification Authority (NIA) has successfully registered over 19.4 million Ghanaians and has also issued over 18.7 million Ghana cards. Consequently, the authority has processed over 200 million biometric verification requests and over 640,000 Ghana cards in 2025 have since been cleared of backlog. Feats like this is what the NIA is celebrating. The launch of its 20th anniversary celebrations revealed how far NIA has come and the enormous prospects that lie ahead. Executive Secretary of NIA, Wisdom Yaira Koku-Deku, explained that the Ghana card is recognized for travel across the ECOWAS sub-region and accepted at over 44,000 airports.
While we celebrate these milestones, we must also confront the roads ahead. The financial performance of 2025 was challenging, but it is not an excuse. It is a call to action, and so our priorities for the years ahead are clear. We will strengthen data security through ISO certification, position the Ghana card as a foundational ID for all services, enforce biometric verification nationwide, deepen interagency collaboration, expand research, monitoring and evaluation.
Minister for the Interior, Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, stressed that government will continue to support the NIA in delivering on its core mandate, which is giving identity to Ghana's over 30 million population.
In 2006, Ghana embarked on a bold and necessary journey to establish a unified and reliable system of identification. The vision was clear, although the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty. The undertaking was complex, expectations were high, and resources were limited. Yet, through determination, foresight, and unwavering commitment, a solid foundation was laid. From this modest beginning, the authority has evolved into a cornerstone of our governance architecture and economic system. Over the past 20 years, it has transformed from a conceptual initiative into a resilient and sophisticated biometric identification system.
Meanwhile, the authority has also enrolled over 229,000 foreigners under the Foreigners Identity Management System. Well, on that NIA note, we end the morning news. For more news updates, you'd want to log on to our website, s3news.com. Alternatively, join the news team at 12 for News Central. My name is Josh Quinny. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your morning.
Paimuka, Maka Maka Paimuka. You know something? This is the first ever manifest song I heard. It's the very first ever manifest song.
I don't need the explanation.
Oh, maybe to Basi.
Wait.
Mamile foundation.
Bring him to the part where he started rapping, no?
I'm gonna do it. I'll do it. I'm coming. You know, I'm saying that this is the first ever manifest song I ever heard. You know, and what caught my attention is the very first line of the song.
Okay.
He says, Reggie Bayen, or say Maka Maka, or Brafo Bayen, or say Paimuka. Into your carbon, Maka Paimuka, and it just caught my attention that first time.
Reggie Bay,
or say Maka. You know Reggie's what?
Yes,
first
Maka,
album.
Of course I remember.
Then Obraf was Paimuka is like his biggest album ever.
Right.
So he says Reggie Bay or say Maka. Obraf Bay or say Paimuka. Into manifest Makabum, Maka Paimuka. That's the first line. So then I was like, oh damn.
But that's quite easy to learn though.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I was just amazed by the guy's flow and everything. See, like I love Manifest so much. He's my favorite rapper. I mean, I don't think there's anyone better than him in this part. I know the debate's all over the place, but trust me, anyone who does not love Manifest, you are just not listening to him. I'm sorry, guys. I love every other person, but it's just Manifest. Wow. Good morning. It's
a manifestive morning.
Yes,
right?
A manifestive morning. Yes.
Okay. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
I've actually been waiting for you all week because since your birthday on Tuesday.
Wednesday.
On Wednesday, we haven't seen you and we haven't interacted much. And a lot of the issues tabled or trending this week needed you to explain to me personally. You know how I would call you and say, Nable. So first off would be the delegates. Which one is that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's the delegates system of voting for political parties.
So pin that down.
Yes,
that's number one.
pinned.
Number two is BOG contesting GN Bank reinstatement.
Reinstatement, yes.
Yes, that one is number two.
Yeah.
And then number three is the former Attorney General withdrawing his services as... Was he a lawyer for...
Yes, he was a lawyer in one of the cases that was at the Supreme Court for the former Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokon.
Okay, so I need you for those explanations.
I think we can take that one off the table quickly. You see, when you instruct me that I am your lawyer.
Right.
What happens is that I will be representing you in court, and it will mean that a lot of the processes that are filed subsequently. So normally when you are sued, they will bring the documents to you. But subsequently, all the processes that are filed, they will be brought to me because I'm acting on your behalf as lawyer. And once I enter appearance, I will indicate that if they want to give you any documents, they should serve the documents on me. So the thinking of the court is that in the event I, as the lawyer, decide that I no longer want to represent you, for whatever reason, and we are withdrawing from that representation, the court will want to satisfy itself that Cookie is aware, Cookie has received notice of my decision to withdraw from the case, such that you would have the opportunity to instruct someone else to act on your behalf. So that's basically what played out at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that there's nothing on its record to show that Gertrude Tokon, the former Chief Justice, is aware that Godfrey Dami has informed the court that he does not want to represent her anymore. So the court said that.
But why does he want to represent her anymore?
It could be so many reasons. I mean, it's very difficult to hazard a guess. I mean, even in my short stint at the bar, there's a client that I was handling personally that I advised that we should no longer represent her. We withdrew our services from it. So it could be different, very different reasons why you may not. I mean, some would hazard the guess that, well, you don't want to lose a case. I mean, it could be for pure ideological reasons. Sometimes you could disagree with your client on how a certain matter should proceed.
Right.
And you decide that, well, in the interest, I want to stay away. Sometimes, too, you could just have too much on your plate and decide that you want to step away from that. And so that is basically what transpired. So because the court did not have, and they did not have proof that Justice Gertrude Tokon was aware of his withdrawal, the court says, okay, well, they will treat you as acting as her lawyer still. So all the process that you have filed is still intact.
Right.
If subsequently she makes any changes, that's fine, but we've adjourned for judgment. I think they are supposed to deliver judgment in July, thereabout. And so that is basically it with regards to that. Then you also mentioned
we want to concentrate here this morning especially, and that's where we will need our viewers to also calling to contribute. So what the NPP is saying right now, that when it's time for their primaries, they are not going to depend on only delegates to do the voting.
So the NPP...
The entire card-bearing membership.
That's the position of the NDC, actually. That's the position of the NDC. And the CPP, we understand, also aligned to that position as well. But the NPP, we understand, they disagree with that. They believe that the delegate system in its current form is fine.
It's still okay for them, right?
The case was actually filed by a number of esteemed citizens, Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng, Dr. Nyahu Tamaklo. They instructed Merton and Everett, Oliver Bakavoma's law firm, to file a case at the Supreme Court. They are simply saying that Ghana's constitution says that political parties will conform to democratic principles. So their argument is that they don't think it's democratic enough for the fact that there's a political party, but only selected members vote to elect who leads the political party. Why not allow all members of the political party
if they
to
allow,
vote?
on the lighter side, if they allow all members, how would we share the TV?
Well, it will mean that
that's on a lighter note. Don't come for me.
No, it's a significant point. In fact, the complaint about the delegate system has been that if you don't have money, you can't win.
Yes, you cannot. You cannot. And we saw it. We've seen it on the NDC side. We've seen it on the MPP side, and especially in the last by-election in Nima.
Nima, yes.
We saw it. It was evident. It was glaring everywhere. So maybe that's why they're contesting it. Because if we allow everyone to vote...
I was going to say that on the flip side, it will mean that if you want to win, you have to have more money.
Right.
I mean, basically, because you have to more or less reach out to everyone. But there are questions that people ask. I think generally, ordinary people who belong to political parties will be satisfied in the thinking that, well, we all get a chance to vote. It also means that whoever is elected by the political party will definitely reflect what the majority of the political party people believe in as well. And so that is one way to look at it. And I think it's something that we can put to our callers later on when we do the This Morning segment to share their views with us. Do they think that we should do away with the current delegate system and allow for all members of political parties to vote to decide who leads them in the national elections as it should be? I don't know what your thoughts are, but it's something that
we'll get to it when we activate the phone lines. But one other pressing issue is the xenophobic tensions in South Africa. And I'm a little disappointed in Julius Malema, the opposition activist in South Africa. I mean, he normally would come out, vehemently talk about public social issues. And for the most part, you would agree with him. But this time around, Julius Malema is saying that the Ghanaian government has overreacted, first of all, and we were too swift in evacuating our citizens back home, and that our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, should have given them some time to resolve this diplomatically. And people are asking questions yesterday, today, all over social media. How much more time did South Africa need to nip this in the back? Because xenophobic attacks did not start just yesterday.
Exactly. I mean, it's been on for a while.
Yes, one of the returnees we interviewed yesterday has been there for 18 years. And back in 18 years, he can narrate stories of xenophobic attacks. We've seen them. And one of the most important questions we are also asking, and everyone is asking, is that these people who are attacking the other African nationals, have we seen anywhere that they've been arrested? Some of the attacks actually happen in front of the police, and the police are not doing anything. So if the police who serve in government or under government, they are another wing serving as protection and serving as safety apparatus for the citizenry, if they are not doing anything and you are being attacked right in front of them, then it kind of suggests that government is backing what these South Africans are doing. I'm not sure what your thoughts are this morning, but how much more time did South Africa actually need to be able to just nip this in the back or stabilize the situation for other Africans to stay in the country? And all of a sudden yesterday, Cambodia is also saying that what? All other Africa. Where is Cambodia, by the way?
It's in Asia. It's in Asia.
So Chantel asked me a funny question this morning. I said, man, na Cambodia, so like what? Ghanaians just go everywhere, right?
Ghanaians are all over the place. I mean, everywhere. I mean, I think there were some reports some years back about one of the nationalities that virtually are spread all across the globe. But I mean, but back on the main point about this whole conversation, I think first Malema's comments has to be put in the context that he's South African. I mean, no matter his pro-African nationalism and all Pan-Africanism and all of that, he's South African. So we have to put him in that context and deal with him that way, that look, he's expressing the views that we would expect a South African to express. But the fact remains that it is not an oppressor is not in the position to tell the oppressed how long he should remain oppressed. Else you will be oppressed forever.
Forever.
Like the person who is oppressing you, it's not his place to tell you how long to put up with it. I think South Africa has generally handled this very poorly.
I think so
especially given their own history of apartheid. And that begs the question that if there is any African country that you would expect not to do what South Africa is doing, given their own history, it should be South Africa. But yet, that is what is playing out. And I think there's a part of the conversation that we need to have about how we need to make Ghana a better place for most people. It should be our first choice. It's a part of the conversation.
The greener pastures should be here.
Should be here.
We should not go elsewhere to look for.
I mean, it's fine to want to, but it shouldn't be the default. Right. I mean, a lot of people, when you talk to young people, I remember during my days at the university, I can think of, at least I know of about 8 to 10 of my colleagues who, right from first year, they were very clear in their mind that the university was an avenue to leave the shores of Ghana. And about 7 of them at least are doing very well in Germany, the United Kingdom, United States, Canada. They are doing very well there. I mean, but that was their default thinking. And a lot of young people, when you talk to today, simply wanting to go and do their masters outside, it's an avenue to leave the country.
Yeah.
So their default is not an option. It's like what they want to do if they have their way.
Right.
And if you talk to people honestly, there are a lot of people who express the same sentiment. We should get to the point where the land of our birth should be our starting point, where we all want to be here, flourish here, do well here, a land of opportunity, a land where we can do our very best and ensure that we become successful. So it's a conversation that we would have to have. I mean, even though government has done well in bringing the Ghanaian people here, I mean, we all know that it comes with its attendant responsibilities, and there are responsibilities and challenges that also persist right here in Ghana. So at some point, we would have to confront this conversation as well.
All right. In that case, we'll just take a little breather. We'll play the montage and we'll make way for this morning's segment. Do call us, send in your messages as well. We see many messages already. We'll do well to read them, so please keep sending them. It's time for This Morning right here on TV3 Newday. You're welcome back to TV3 Newday, and this is This Morning's segment. Call us and let us know what your thoughts are. The NPP says it's okay to go by the delegate system. It doesn't have to require all good standing card-bearing members of the NPP to vote in the primaries. The delegate system is just what we in the NPP want to run with. That's what they're seeing. NDC says no. Let's open it to the public because according to the Constitution, that's what's supposed to be done. The CPP is backing that as well. Let's know what your thoughts are. And I'm told our first caller is already on the line. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning. May we have your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, Cookie T, how are you?
Peter T.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Peter, how are you almost all the time the first to call? What do you do to the phone lines?
This is a secret I don't want to disclose.
Okay, no problem at all. Just make it snappy so other callers can also submit their opinions.
Thank you very much. Cookie T, let me seize the opportunity to extend my regards to Alhaji Ayakundo. I know he's the liaison officer, National Security Operation, very hardworking indeed. And then Alhaji Mahdi, National Democratic Congress, you know he's the director for election. And then Mr. Emmanuel Ashali, Greater Accra Regional Liaison Officer, National Security. And then also...
Oh, Peter, let's go.
Yeah, Honorable Chairman Ava. Cookie T. In fact, it says, they say all registered card-bearing Ghanaians to decide who becomes a father to a particular political party. Is that the case?
All registered members of a political party.
Political party. And who are in good standing?
Who are outstanding? That means that you have the Ghana card, you have everything. Okay, we need to establish the authenticity of this publication, even though we know that it is coming from some, level-headed people, and that we must also be careful because some decisions are crucial to make. And I also believe that if they may not spark fears and tension in our future political development, because of so much attention and sight that may be taken by the same delegates and then the Congress itself, because these have to do with some very serious agenda if care is not taken, because we know that delegates are selected from the various constituencies for the political parties for 2-3 things. One, they want to be sure that these are trustworthy people. These are the people that really belong to the party. Are you getting it? To be able to decide who becomes the flag bearer. So if care is not taken, and we want to open up that everybody, because you are a party bearing card member, whatever it is, you have to also have the access to vote and decide who becomes the flag bearer. Because look, we had some records in the past when the registration of political parties are open, especially at the branch level. We had people who were not even supposed to be members of NDC also had the access to become members of the until some scrutinized exercise was done before they were picked out. So let us be careful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter, for calling us. Messages coming in already, but I'm told Alaji is going to attack me this morning, but it's okay. Alaji.
Kupiti.
Alaji, how you doing?
Oh, Kupiti, how are you?
Alaji, I am very well, by the grace of God. How are you doing?
Akabe, I hope everything is well.
Yes, I'm fine.
We thank God. We thank God. Let me send my greeting to Alaji Alasan and Shamima, Muslim.
That's it. Don't send any more, please.
I don't. Oh, I shouldn't get deputy.
No, it takes too much time, Alaji. Please, let's be fair. Alaji, it takes too much time, so we want to be fair to the other callers. So just go straight to the point.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
When these people bring in this issue out, formal
Professor Frimpong Boateng.
Professor Frimpong Boateng. They are intelligent people, but let me tell you something. 2015, NDC, we expand in our electoral college. Do you know what is happening?
Tell us.
When we expand our electoral college, and some members of MPP, and they're part of our electoral college, and they come and vote no against President John Dramani Mahama at that time. If we do something, we need to be reason and do that things. Because when we started and count the delegate system, if you are a registered member for your party, you need to have a voting right. Is that also? So can we select the right person to that political party?
Okay.
This is a simple question, and we have an action. So let's think how we can do to solve our problems in this country, because that delegate system bringing problem into our party. Because we can have a person who has intelligence to lead that country.
All right, Alaji.
And because of the delegate system, and they go and select the weak candidate. You know, your friend Prince Serifo Foforidua vying for the regional communication, and Aziz Dola also vying for the communication officer, and I also vying for the communication officer for Stability. May God bless us and give us long life and give
God bless you too.
What we want. Thank you very much.
God bless you too, Alaji, for calling us. There's a message. that says, okay, I'll take Joseph on the telephone lines before we go to the messages. A lot of them, please keep sending them. Joseph Akable is also here to read as many as possible. Good morning. You are in the right place. If you're looking for TV3 Newday, let's have your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. My name is Joseph. I'm calling from...
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you. Good morning.
Great. Good morning. Oh, I think we've lost him. Humado Sichofe. Is he still on the line? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay. Humado Sichofe says, good morning, T and Blay. Allowing all members to vote instead of using only a delegate system is known as one member, one vote, or direct voting by the membership. This approach promotes greater democracy, inclusiveness, and I think the caller is back on the line. Hello?
What the Supreme Court has said, because how possible can I be a member of... Hello?
Yes, sir. We didn't catch your name and where you're calling from, and we missed the beginning of your submission. So if you don't mind, would you take it all over again?
Okay, my name is Mr. Aye from Sunanya.
Okay. Mr. Aye, continue, please. What is it that you wanted to say?
Yeah, the political parties, they are very, very naive. How can I be a member of a party? When it is a time to elect leaders, I have no opportunity to vote. How possible? How possible can I be a member? Let's say not or not that. But I cannot have a way of decision by voting for leaders that great way for their criminal and their evil deeds. Because they get the opportunity to do their evil and their criminal things for the selected few. If you come to Sonanya, my police station, we have more than 600 or both. We have about 1,000 people over there.
Okay.
How can you come and share TV for us all? That we qualify to vote.
Right.
That we have our name in the register like as we have in the voters register. So we are in support. We are in support of that.
Okay. All right. Your point is well made. Thank you, Mr. Aye, for joining us this morning. I would continue with a message from Humado Sichope, and he says that this approach promotes greater democracy, inclusiveness, and equal participation by giving every member a direct voice in decision making. It can also increase member engagement, strengthen the legitimacy of outcomes, and ensure that leaders are chosen by the broader membership rather than a limited group of delegates. This approach can also be expensive. We need collective effort to this kind of democracy. Guan constituency, Oti regions, Humado Sichope sent in that one. Queen Emefa Elom says, good morning. Did I hear you say Malema said the Ghanaian government reacted too swiftly? Yes, that's what he said. Please, our people are not homeless. They should come back home where they are loved. As for South Africans, the least said about them, the better. All right. Call us this morning. Let's know what your thoughts are on this very issue. Joseph, do you have more messages? Otherwise,
yes, I have a number of messages
hold on
here.
a second. I'm told there's a caller.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from, sir.
Yeah, my name is Bless Kojo Katamane.
Okay, Bless. Speak to us.
Yeah, in as much as I do respect the views of Professor Fulton Bratton and the colleagues, I also have an opposing view. The issue is that it's not in all democracy that all members vote across the system. So, for example, when you elect people to parliament, we have given them our mandate. So whatever decision they take at parliament is our decision. So the same applies to what we do as parties. So for example, the grassroots do elect branch executives. In that case, everybody participates in it. That is when we want to do, for example, in 9DC, we want to do
our branch elections, all members across every registered member at the branch vote. So in that case, they have ceded their mandate to the branch executives. So the branch executives go ahead to elect the constituency executives. And that's how it goes till we elect the national executive. So that is how it is. So we do election across board at the grassroots level. All members participate. So it does not mean that if they don't participate in electing the national chairman or the president, they don't participate. They all participate in electing the branch executive. Let me, before I conclude, even somebody mentioned now, in that election, when they start electing the local executive, every member participates. But in electing the national executive of NAC, it is only delegates that they have elected that go to do that election at the national level. So I disagree completely if they say that democracy doesn't take place if you don't allow all members to elect the national executive or the presidential candidate. That is my view.
All right. Thank you so much for calling us this morning. We'll get on to some messages now. Joseph, you've got messages.
Yes, this one here from Simon Yang in Wa says the delegate system, in my view, is not the best. It is clogged with bribery and gives a lot of room for manipulation. There are good reasons why presidential and parliamentary elections are open to everyone, so why not? And you are asking me whether it's true that Godfrey Dame is abandoning the former CJ. Interesting times ahead. This one here is from Akaskori Joseph. Akaskori Joseph, you send this. You said that if the MPP abolish the delegate system, how can the likes of Untumi, Abronye, and Nanabi be elected? Well, that's the question that you are asking. Aziz Donla from WA, you say that the behavior of the South Africans is not only barbaric but very dangerous, unfortunate, ridiculous, disgusting as a nation. AU must condemn this without fear or favor. It is indeed a shame seeing uncultured attitude. Best regards to Professor Sharif and Al-Haji Al-Hassan Bangu. Stephen, when you just sent this one right about now, you say that the various political parties are governed and regulated by their constitution and must be allowed to select their leaders in conformity with the provision of their current constitution. That's your view there. Another one here, you say that, as a matter of fact, I will not support the scrapping of delegate system. Why? The NDC has done it before and we lost the election. Who is going to take care of the party affairs? Is it going to be all card-bearing members? As for the xenophobic attacks on Ghanaians, I am really shocked that AU has not spoken about this matter. That is coming from Akotoka Courage from Anloga Lashibi in the Volta region. Two more messages here from Wa Central Deputy Treasurer Hopeful. That is Fakaki in Wa. You sent this. You said I completely disagree with Maleme's assertion that Ghana overreacted by evacuating its citizens during the xenophobic attacks. A responsible government does not wait for any state that is to protect the life and dignity of its citizens wherever they are. Preventive action should never be mistaken for overreaction when human safety is at risk. And this one here from Kwatin Amanin Kokro, Kofi Kwatin Amanin Kokro from Insuta. You say that you believe, you said you believe I am a member of the Ghana Bar Association. Imagine you're a paid up member, yet due to the delegate system, you are told you are not qualified to vote in the election to choose your leaders. That is the situation we now face. The Attorney General and the NDC's decision to support the universal adult suffrage is a laudable one. But me have not expressed that opinion. Yes,
well, Justice Yosa Conlan says, please, expanding the Electoral College is the best way to discourage monetization of our politics. This current arrangement only helps in enriching a few people, yet selecting the richest rather than the most competent. And another caller has joined us on the line. Hello, good morning. This is TV3 Newday. Hello, good morning. Well, let me move on to Chachu Chikata Jr.'s message that reads, what is happening in South Africa is deeply disappointing. African leaders must, with immediate effect, step in and address this matter, or we, the youth of Ghana, will soon be forced to rebel and take action against South African citizens here in Ghana and their businesses. In fact, Honorable Malema of South Africa is deeply disappointing. The delegate system also is indirectly not the best approach and must be looked into, as it breeds corruption and brings disunity to political parties. Greetings to my boss, Honorable Peter Lanchin Tobu. All right. Another caller has joined us on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Is your namesake that's on the line? Would you want to pick this call?
Good morning, Joseph. How are you doing? Where are you calling from?
I'm Joseph. I'm calling from Po in the Volta region.
Okay. What's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, I'd like to please talk a little bit about the delegate system, which is ongoing.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I would like to believe that leadership should always have a form of a chain. That at certain point, certain decisions can only be taken by certain high level of the leadership. And so I want to believe that in this particular situation, the constitution that governs each political party should be respected. And more so, in the case where decisions will have to be taken by almost everybody, it is going to serve some form of confusion. And so I agree to the point where only decisions are taken by certain stages of certain leadership designed for a body or an organization. This is what I really would want to believe is the best for the parties involved.
All right, Joseph, thank you very much for calling. We have another caller on the line. Good morning, your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, my brother. How are you? Abu speaking from Second D.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me use opportunity to greet your viewers this morning, and then greet my regional minister, Joseph Nelson, who is a very hard-working gentleman, very humble, so in fact, very doing well in Western region here. And then incoming my regional chairman, Chairman Bolu. Yeah, another such gentleman who is very humble too at the Western region. I think if this man be able to come a regional chairman, I think we are going to claim all the 70 seats in Western region here, inshallah, 2030. Inshallah, may Allah protect him. And then I'm very, very happy for this judgment, this court issue, voting, political voting. You see, it's good to allow everybody who has their name in the register as a police station, instead of selecting only just about a few or three people to decide for all of us. I think it's very, very, mature, our democracy. So I'm appealing to the judges and others who are supporting this issue. We have to do serious application so that they will open the system for everybody. To every house will be able to go the national, open the voter register to everybody to vote, share his opinion. I think it will be very, very, useful than only selecting 3 people. I think that would be the best. And let's talk about this South Africa issue. I'm totally condemning this South Africa, this xenophobia issue. It's an abuse for African unity, because this not Kwame Nkrumah's vision to unite Africa. Or Sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, decided to unite the whole Africa. That's why he used our Independence Day to say that Africa, a Ghana independence is meaningless unless it's total liberation of Africans. And then they overthrow Kwame Nkrumah. So his vision just got mixed. And we have some people to come and misconduct himself in this Ghana here. Those people who overthrow Kwame Nkrumah and alien compliance law, that brought that issue. Nigeria has the same issue. I was part of those people who Nigeria patrioted during the roaring time. So let's accuse those people who start this issue. They are the cause, they are the mess of this cancer. It's a very, very serious issue because we are Africans. We are all Africans. South Africa, we supported them during their struggle. We supported them seriously. So I think the African Union has to sit down and then bring some, a new law condemning anybody, any country who will do that. You have to sanction that particular country. It is uncalled for. It's uncalled for. Please, we are all one. So we sit down, these Europeans to dictate for us, and they're stealing our resources and everything, going to their own country, develop our country. They leave our people to hunger, and then no, it's not good. Please, let's not really begin this kind of issue.
All right. Thank you for calling us. Johnny Tofik says, Godfrey Dame has bitten more than what he can chew. He should be bold to follow the case to the end. The law is the law. NDC is in power and they have forgotten we the serial texters. All right. Well, okay, NDC is in power and they have forgotten you the serial texters. I'm not sure what that means. Komla Agbasi Belevi says the delegate system is now an avenue for greed and corruption. Landlord from Bolgat D-Line says it's very necessary. That's how come the delegates choose someone the general public do not accept. And they do so because of their personal gains. I think when it's general to every registered member, it will help. Okay. I think Aziz Donla has also sent in one that reads, the behavior of the South Africans is not only barbaric, but very dangerous and unfortunate, ridiculous and disgusting as a nation. AU must condemn this with fear, without fear or favor. This is indeed a shame, seeing this uncultured attitude. Best regards to Professor Sharif and Alaji Alasan Bangu. All right, another caller has joined us. Good morning. You're welcome to TV3 Newday. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please, my name is Zachary. I'm calling from Cameroon.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear you.
First of all, I want to talk about the delegate system.
Okay.
Yes, I agree it should be scrapped because sometimes the people will vote into office. Not all, like the people will vote during the delegate system. Not all of them represent the general idea of the grassroots.
Okay.
So I believe every member should be given the chance to elect.
Okay.
That would be the best thing to do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And talking about the xenophobia attack in South Africa, we have done the right thing by bringing our members, our citizens back home. First of all, we should think about how they can stand on the ground so that future generation, they will not think of leaving the countries.
Okay.
We can now stay in our country and fix our country. Because some of the video, I can hear a particular woman saying he should go back and fix his country. And watching that video, it was disgraceful. Like, why would she say that? Why would she say that? Because she believes in Ghana. And our government are not, like, they're not doing enough to fix our country. That's why she got the chance to say what she said. So this one, I will blame our leaders. This wake-up call for all our leaders in Ghana. They should think about the ordinary Ghanaian, the ordinary citizens. Because whatever they do to them, it will reflect in other countries. Because they want to leave Ghana and go to other countries.
All
so
right.
Please, this is a wake-up call for our leaders. They should do better. They should make Ghana a better place.
All right. We appreciate your time. Thank you, too, for calling us. Evans Ibn Samba says, good morning, Cookie and Council Akable. Firstly, the landmark case before the Supreme Court would shape the politics of this country, and in particular, it would go a long way to address the canker of monetization of our politics. I want to thank these senior citizens for their decision to leave a mark while they are still around. God bless them. And secondly, as for the xenophobic attacks, we can only be grateful that the visionary JDM, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, is on the seat today. Moving the citizens was the best intervention. It presents us as a serious nation. South Africa is worried because they don't know what we may do next. Let the guilt kill them. All right.
Landlord Borga D-Line sends this one as well.
I've read that one.
Read that
Sorry,
one as well.
but
Okay,
I think
great.
Farouk is on the line. Hello, Farouk. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
Is this Farouk?
My name is Chairman Olabode Williams. I'm calling from Nima.
Chairman what?
Chairman Olabode Williams. Olabode Williams.
Olabode Williams. Okay, all right.
The former forensic chairman for NDC, Ayawaso East.
Okay, all right.
The longest serving forensic chairman in the whole Greater Accra.
Chamo, go ahead. Chamo, go ahead.
Yeah, I support the new format where everybody, every member of the party should be given the chance to vote. I want to take myself as an example.
I have served the NDC party for the past 31 years. I have been the chairman for 12 years in Iowa, so it's Lima. I have been coordinating secretary for 8 years. I have been the campaign coordinator for JM for almost 12 years in Iowa, so it's But because I don't have money to contest, people came up with big money to move me out of office. The person that they brought as chairman disappointed the whole constituency and abandoned his position because he hasn't got a ceiling. Today, as I'm speaking to you, we want competent people to be leaders of our constituencies and our party. We should discard ourselves from the money issue because money is trying to destroy the NDC, and we should not support that. So I support the format where every card-bearing member of the party should be given the opportunity to vote for a competent person, or else we shall be destroying the party. Madam, I can tell you vividly that I have that experience to lead the party, but because I don't have money, people from nowhere who don't even know much about the NDC or even the constituency or the branches brought money to move out competent people. And if you continue to do that, we are destroying the party. So this is why I want to support the agenda of all card-bearing members to be given the opportunity to vote for competent people. Our party needs competent people and not people who cannot bring money, remove all the competent people, and in the end, they don't even know what they do. Even in my case, the chairman that came couldn't last for 4 years. He has abandoned the position and went to contest for NPC. Today, the party in Iowa, so we don't have a competent chairman. So this is why I support the format. And to the South Africa, I want to bring with Ghanaians. Let us go the way His Excellency Dr. Amani Mahama is going. Let us be very careful. Even though I don't support the South Africans because they are wanted and they are wicked. And for that matter, let us calm down and make sure that we treat the issue with the way His Excellency Dr. Amani Mahama is treating the issue. Thank you.
We thank you for your time, and it's unfortunate that you couldn't retain your position because of monetary issues, but better luck with your future endeavors, Chemo. Well, Simon Yang in Wa says, Cookie, even though the xenophobic attack in South Africa is, did you say commendable? It teaches us Ghanaians to stay back home, and it's not commendable. It teaches us Ghanaians to stay back home and harness the rich resources we have rather than develop other countries. Those of us staying back home have not died. Okay, that's what Simon Yang is saying. Randashal and the family, good morning to you as well. And good morning to all of our loyals and faithfuls watching this morning. Kocho Denge, Ibo Samoni. Daddy, oh, I got your message yesterday. Thank you very much for the encouragement. I am super, super grateful. Do you have any more messages? Why are you smiling? What's going through your head?
It's been an interesting conversation hearing from our callers expressing their views on matters of national interest at this point in time. We'll draw the curtain on this part of the show. Very shortly, we'll cross over to the other side where we'll continue the conversation. We hear from the usual Friday team. They'll be telling us what they think about this whole delegate system. We hear from the political parties themselves. I mean, their representatives will be here as to why, if they agree, at least we've heard from 2 or 3 of them that it should be changed, why are they not changing it on their own? Why must it come from the Supreme Court directly before they make those changes? And so that's what was on my mind. That's to answer the question that you asked earlier on. So that's my answer to you. Now, what's on your mind as well? You are smiling.
I want to pack up your day.
Okay.
Coco, you are very right.
Pick it up.
Pack up your day the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of Peck milk shortcake. It is pure delight. I'll buy you some today. How about that?
I would love that.
What are you having for breakfast, though?
I've not decided yet.
Okay, when you decide, let me know, because you know Wednesday was your birthday, so I can get you breakfast today.
Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. We'll take a break now. When we come back, Joseph.
Thank you for staying with us here on TV3. It's New Day. It's time for the big issue now. And we are going to zoom in right on that discussion that commenced with the phone-in segment when we allowed all of you to call in and share your views with us. The delegate system of voting, which has come up quite strongly this week because of the issues surrounding the case that is currently at the Supreme Court. And what I'm going to do is I'll tell you a bit more about some of the arguments that have been put at the Supreme Court just to put all of this in a proper perspective. And it's a little table that I looked at, and what I tried to do was to compare the difference between the Attorney General's position and that of the NDC position. I mean, they are, in terms of substantively, they make the same point. They agree that the current delegate system does not conform to the democratic principles that the Constitution speaks about. But we'll pick it issue by issue. So first, on the nature of the political parties, the Attorney General says that, well, they are public constitutional institutions. The NDC says they are voluntary associations, but constitutionally regulated. So public constitutional institutions, NDC says they are voluntary associations, but constitutionally regulated. In terms of whether the court can intervene, the Attorney General says that, well, they support the judicial supervision. The NDC initially cautions but accepts that in certain instances, like this particular instance, the court can intervene. Then specifically on the delegate system, the Attorney General describes it as unconstitutional and exclusionary. The NDC takes the views that ultimately they agree that it violates Article 55(5) of the 1992 Constitution. That's the provision that speaks about parties organizing their affairs in a manner that conforms to democratic principles. The remedy, what they expect to resolve the situation, the Attorney General says there should be structural constitutional reform. The NDC says there should be reform, but with moderated practical consequences. Then there's a comparative law analysis that they both undertake. The AG makes reference to Germany, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, and various international instruments. The NDC also makes reference to Nigeria as well, the US, and Ghanaian constitutional jurisprudence, basically looking at what these various legal frameworks or legal systems have to say about the extent to which courts should interfere with the affairs of political parties amongst all of that. And so the overall takeaway is that the Attorney General and the NDC substantially support the plaintiff's substantive claim that internal party electoral system must become more participatory and democratic, and that the main divergence lies not in the ultimate constitutional conclusion but in the degree of judicial intrusion into party affairs and the practical consequences and remedies flowing from a finding of unconstitutionality. And during the call-in segment, I don't know if it will be fair to say that maybe by a slim majority, though you don't seem to support the view that it should be opened up, i.e. the delegate system should be abolished. I mean, a lot of you who interestingly introduced yourself as members of political parties, some of you were greeting your party chairman, and some of you were describing yourself as a communication officer, hopefully, and all of those things. All of you, your messages and everything that your contributions were to the effect that you don't seem to agree that we should do away with the delegate system. Well, it's what you guys tell us is the cocoa season. So if you don't want to do away with it, well, it's a conversation to be had. But now the matter is a legal question that the court must answer. And so that's what we'll be engaging our attention this morning. Joining me in the studio for the discussion, Kwame Prempeh is former Deputy CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, a member of the New Patriotic Party. Mr. Prempeh, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Engineer Prempeh.
Engineer Prempeh?
Yes, please.
Oh, I see. Civil engineer, mechanical engineer, what type of engineer?
Aerospace engineer.
Aerospace engineer. Oh, that's nice. Interesting. Interesting.
Okay. He's going to help us to go to the moon.
Help us to go to the moon.
To the moon, yeah. You have to do that.
Interesting. Also joining us in the studio this morning, Ebo Bachman. You heard his voice already. Ebo Bachman, Deputy Director of Communications, United Party, a regular on this show. Always, he's with us in the studio as always.
The Kamadin is not here, so.
Kamal is not here. Prempeh will not fight you today. He will not fight you today.
You will argue small, but not fight.
Not fight. Right. Let me start off with Ebo first. And UP also have a delegate system. Okay, you are yet to, since UP was formed, you are yet to have an internal processes. But I'm assuming that if you were to have organized it, it would have been a delegate system, basically.
Yeah, we are even looking at the issue of selection more than the delegate system.
When you say selection, what do you mean?
If you go to, for example, if you go to a constituency and you can interview people who have the potential to become leaders, then after the interview, the best person can be selected. We believe that we are looking at the cost of elections and its effect on our national development. And we believe that if we can do things that would reduce cost of election, it would eventually have impact on our national development. So, yes, because we've come from a political party like MPP, where the delegate system is normally, controlled and manipulated by a few people, we think that moving forward, we shouldn't go back to the same system. So our system is quite different, but a situation where we would have to consider other options, yes. But we are not in support of this delegate system at all. So I'm excited that it's being tested in courts. I don't think we can build a very strong national democracy on a weak internal party democracy. So it begins with internal party democracy. That is where we should pay more attention to. Because whether you like it or not, political parties are gateways to national leadership. They determine who becomes their leader, then eventually the person becomes the leader of the nation. So if the process, the system there is not properly checked, which means the political parties are going to churn out leadership or leaders that are not good for the country. So we should pay special attention to what they do, in terms of the internal democratic processes. And I don't think the current system as we have it is good for the country.
I mean, but the system that you speak of, is the delegate system actually not better? Because who is doing the interviews? Your system that you speak of, who is doing the interviews? It will be virtually a limited number of people deciding for the political party and potentially the country.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that we took that decision on the basis of the fact that the current system is whether you like it or not, breeds corruption. And we think we should move away from that system. We are looking at it in terms of the cost of, elections and its effect on the nation. Do you get the point I'm making? But I'm saying that if political party internal processes are not properly checked, they will certainly have effects. You see, whether you like it or not, this system has turned, the whole thing into a marketplace where the highest bidder is able to buy his or her way to power. So it's not about merit, it's not about whether the person has ideas, it's not about whether the person has vision. It's about whether the person has money to pay or to buy the delegate. That is where the problem is. Because if I'm able to buy my way through to become a member of parliament or even the president, what it means is that I have to be able to, pay wherever I got the money from. I should be able to, recoup and able to pay, pay wherever I got the money from. And it's going to certainly be it's going to certainly have an effect on our national development. That is why corruption is very rife in our political system. Because let me tell you this, especially in areas where in constituencies where the most important election is the primary. If you go to Water region and Ashanti region and some of these places, the most important election is the primary. Once you win the primary, you are automatically a member of parliament in some of the constituencies. And so they do whatever. They pay whatever amount just to become candidates of their political parties. And when they come, you see, one disturbing thing is that if you look at their salaries and allowances they take, for example, if you take the MPs, the allowances and salaries they take for the 4 years, if you do the calculation and the amount of money they spend to become MPs, you could see the mismatch. So you wonder how somebody would want to pay more than what he's going to receive. It's only when the person knows that there are means by which I can make extra money, do you get a point, from the national coffers to be able to survive. And that is why I think that we should abolish this system. And you see, let me tell you this, so that we take that one also into consideration. You see, when I was in MPP, previously, the delegate system was one person from polling station. So only the chairman had the right to vote.
Okay.
And the argument was put forward that, because the only chairman is the one who was voting, it was easy to buy the chairman. So why don't you expand it so that it will be difficult for people to pay? After the expansion, people were still forced to pay, except that this time we are paying more than what you would have paid if it were to be one person from a polling station. What it means is that if you do this expansion, the possibility that people will still pay and it's going to be more expensive than what you have is also there. So we shouldn't just look at the issue of allowing everybody to, or card-bearing members to vote. We should also look at the monetary aspect of it. Whether, if we expand it, we should have rules and regulations to guide it in such a way that people will still not pay, and so that it becomes more expensive to pay, which means the more expensive it becomes at the party level, the higher the corruption we are likely to have as a nation. And so we need to look at all those things. It shouldn't be just the numbers, but the cost of election and its effect on our national development. For me, that should be the focus of the argument.
I mean, but is this not, should this not be a matter that the political parties generally should be resolving internally? And I say so because you make reference to the MPP situation, and even for the NDC. Over the period, we've seen that the political parties move towards expansion. I mean, they were all getting there eventually. Is that not a more sustainable way of resolving it than a judicial intervention like we are possibly seeing now?
No, they need to be guided. You need to have rules and regulations from the higher authority to guide them. Because over the years, depending on the type of executives you have, they can manipulate their own constitution at any point in time to favor certain candidates or some candidates maybe they are in support of. So if you don't have a higher regulation that regulates the activities, then they can do. Because the parties manipulate their constitution all the time. Remember, MPP introduced what is called superdelegate. Now it is off their constitution again. So if you don't regulate the activities and you allow them to do what they like, I'm telling you, it's not going to augur well for the country. The way it is going, I think we should all be worried that the way the corruption cases that are coming out, the amount of money involved, and I've said this and I want to repeat it. If you remember, 2023, that's my own view. 2023, if you look at the national service issue, the corruption cases that came out from the national service, you realize that 2023 the figure went up. The 2023 figure was an outlier. It shot up. So could it be that it's because a political party was having its internal election? Do you get it? We need to be able to do that kind of connection to see. And 2024 too, the same. If you look at the corruption cases, like the one that is now on the table now, the 13 Africa Games and all that. So certainly there's connection there. There's kind of connection there. And we need to be able to solve that problem. If you can solve the problem at the party level, I'm telling you, it's going to go a long way to affect our national development. Okay. It's quite expensive. Kwame knows it. In fact, I have contested the election before in MPP, 2004. I contested Honorable Christine Checha. I was a teacher at Ghana National College. I didn't have much. I was able to contest effectively. It wasn't expensive. Today, there's no way I can contest the election in MPP primary, for example, because of the nature of the system and how expensive it has become. So let's look at it as this is something that all the political parties must participate in. So if we are to solve the problem, all of us must come together and find a way. Even if there are rules and regulations from a higher level, we should, even as political parties, we should, for the sake of this country's development, we should all look at how we can reduce the cost of election internally, so that it doesn't have any cascading effect on our national development.
And let me come to Mr. Prempeh now. And Mr. Prempeh, I mean, we understand from what we've heard from the courts that it does appear that the MPP is the only one that is taking the position that your delegate system that you are currently implementing is fine. It conforms to democratic principles. I mean, the party has over the period tried to expand the electoral college. So the question remains that there was always going to be the point that you're going to open it up. So why the resistance?
All right. Thank you, Blee. I mean, first of all, let me say a good morning to the viewers, and also extend the warm greetings from His Excellency Dr. Baumia, the former Vice President, to all Ghanaians and all viewers this morning. Blay, I think it's a very good point that you are making, right? If you look at the delegate system, right, I don't agree that the delegate system is undemocratic. It's a democratic process. We can have all the arguments against this, and I side with some of the arguments, but the particular argument that is undemocratic, that one I don't agree with, right? My friend has mentioned a few of the, cons when it comes to delegate system. And the biggest headache is the fact that it seems to be bloating the election cost, because the allegation is that vote buying, has been ongoing. We saw it in, certain recent, primaries. Was it Ayawaso Central, for example, where it was widely reported, that some items and some money were exchanged hands, whatnot. It has also happened on the side of my party as well, where it has been reported, in the past that people have been giving money and all that. But the issue for me is the fact that if you look at what we have done within the MPP, not long ago, as was being said, the number of delegates that were voting for the presidential candidate was less than 2,000. I think 2008 thereabout. Now, after all the issues and all the allegations that was made, the decision was made to expand it. So it was expanded, and if you see every electoral cycle, we expand it, right? And that's what rightly said. We introduced the superdelegate system because the number of people that were putting themselves out for presidential candidate was too much. So the idea was that instead of having so many people on the ballot on the last day, let's have a superdelegate that would then trim it to 5, and then we continue. It worked in the first few elections. We've realized that the last election, before the last one, it didn't work properly. So we've changed it. So the political parties themselves, have a way of adjusting and correcting the system of voting for their candidates. We saw in 2020 when NDC adopted the one-man, one vote, as we are discussing, they opened it up for every registered member to vote. But they abolished it afterwards because we are talking about the cost of running an election. And per the NDC analysis and per the reports that I've seen, the one-man, one vote actually increased the cost of organizing that election. Because don't forget, logistical costs will increase. The number of printing that you have to do for ballots will increase. And then thirdly, they were citing sabotage from external forces and all the external, parties and all that. So it's also not a perfect system. There are issues against it, and costs will increase. As has been rightly said, we moved from 2,000 for selecting our presidential candidate. The last one was about 230,000. And yet, there are cases, people are complaining that, people have to pay, X amount of money to certain people, which was termed as the TNT. Then my question is, if we increase to one man, one vote, right? If we are increasing from, let's say, the 230,000 that we have now, to, let's say, about 3 million, registered voters. Let me just say 3 million. I'm just using this just for illustration purposes. Now, all these 3 million, they have to move from their home to the electoral centers to go and vote. It will cost them money to move. And with our current dispensation where we say, okay, when people are moving for a political party, they need to be given a TNT. Is that not going to be paying TNT for about 3 million people? If that is the case, if you are going by this one. So I agree that we have to look at ways to reduce costs within our election. And it is not per se one man, one vote. Yes, one man, one vote is good, but that will not be the solution for reducing the cost. I will give you an example, right? In the Netherlands, when elections is coming, all campaigns are limited. Even where you put your posters is limited. What they do is they go to a neighborhood. They put a big billboard there. Every political party come and put your poster on that billboard. So in the whole neighborhood, there are no billboards anywhere. So the political parties are not going to print, posters and all that. This is cost reduction. What are you talking about? In Ghana, after every election, walk around the cities. You see posters and billboards everywhere indiscriminately. Apart from it costing money, environmental, I don't think it's also sound. These are some of the things I think that we have to look at as a party, as a country, in how we reduce the cost when it comes to election. When it comes to election, you enter a neighborhood. You see everywhere cladded in the colors, of political parties. these are costs that we can reduce moving forward. So I agree. Elections is becoming too expensive in Ghana, or it has already become too expensive in Ghana, and something must be done about it. We must come to the table and look at ways that we can reduce.
But the concern is that the main cost component, we can barely do anything. The main cost component is what you do for the delegates.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What is being done for the delegate now is being termed as TNT. So if you increase the delegates...
Delegates are getting television sets. That's what TNT.
You see, I think
they are getting sewing machines.
In Ghana,
getting,
in Ghana,
all sorts of things.
The biggest part of our problem is enforcing existing laws. If somebody is giving television sets free, these are bribes. And we must handle it as bribes. And we have laws against bribes. But we keep bringing new laws to fight laws that we are not implementing. And that is the problem. So that's what I'm saying. If we want to reduce costs, let's start by enforcing the existing laws and look at ways that we can reduce the cost in terms of logistics, in terms of the operations, so that ideas can come to the fore that we are discussing, and then we vote accordingly. But if we hide behind this one man, one vote, I'm telling you, after 2-3 years, we'll be back at this table and saying that the cost has even increased. It's a fact. I mean, we increased from 2,000 to 230,000, and people are still complaining. So I really don't believe that one man, one vote will take away all the costs. But we have to look at the whole thing holistically.
Just a step back to something you said in the early part of your submission. You said that you disagree with those who say that it's not democratic. If you can expand a bit on that point, those who say that the current delegate system is not democratic. I mean, their argument is to the effect that, democracy in its very, very simple explanation is that people have an opportunity to express who and what they want, basically. And the thinking is that when more people have the chance to have that expression, that is more democratic than when we limit the number. What's your response?
You see, representation is also democratic. We choose people to represent us. As a country, we choose members of parliament to represent us. So when we are choosing people to represent us when it comes to a certain activity, it's democratic. It's we that have come together to decide who should take that action on our behalf. It is democratic. If you go to the US, the Democratic Party, they have two. They have one where they have the pledge representation, where when the people vote, the delegates have to vote what the people vote. And they also have the super delegates, where the super delegates have the opportunity to choose whoever they like. So they have a blend. It's also democratic. So what I'm saying, if you go to the assemblies, if we are appointing or we are electing a DC, why don't we call all the people who live in that assembly district to go and vote? Is that undemocratic?
That's what we've been pushing for a while.
Oh no, we've been pushing for that, but so does it mean that it's undemocratic?
I don't think undemocratic would be the right word. Maybe one form is more democratic.
That is what I'm saying. It's not undemocratic. We can say we have to improve, and yes, we need to. We always have to look for continuous improvement in our systems. So whatever we are doing now, how can we do better? We have a lot that we have to achieve as a country. We have a lot of development gaps. So saving money elsewhere is definitely better for us to put it, better use. So I agree that we have to look at ways to reduce the costs in our system, right? But it is not undemocratic.
Okay.
That one I disagree.
And the last question I asked, Ebo, same question to you as well. Is this not a matter that preferably the party should be handling at their own level, given that you've been undertaking reforms? Is there a matter that the court should be invited?
That is what I also think. We moved from 2,000 to 200 and something thousand. The last election, we expanded the delegates. We allowed all former, executives to also vote, aside only the current executives. In our current election, we are increasing the number of executives at the polling station from 5 to 7. We are increasing the number of executives at electoral area from 1 to 5. We are increasing the number of executives at regional and constituency level from 17 to 19. So we are expanding as we go ahead, right? So the political parties themselves, right, we have also seen that electoral cost is increasing. So political parties themselves are also looking at ways to improve the democracy within our own party, and especially to reduce the cost. Like I said, NDC implemented one man, one vote not long ago, but they had to cut it back because of certain things. One was a cost increase in terms of organizing organizers, as I understand, right? 2, there was no proper, database of members, a solid one. So the fear was that there were infiltrations, right? So I think the political parties with time, they will strengthen their database as we are doing, as NPP. We started with the registration of our members. We are now strengthening our database. So you get to a point where automatically the political parties will get there and then do it. It's not like they don't want to get there. There are challenges with one man, one vote. That has to be resolved. So even if the Supreme Court was to say today that every political party must apply one man, one vote, it's going to be a challenge for almost all the political parties. So it is not that straightforward.
Okay, all right.
So in the last election, how many people voted in your party?
Sorry.
In the last election, how many delegates voted?
About 230,000 thereabouts.
So if you multiply by, let's say, 500.
500 cities.
Yeah, because they spent more than 500 on each candidate because
they
didn't just do the election. They would go and visit and pay money.
Multiple times.
Yeah, so that we should be scared. That individuals will be able to pay such amount to become president.
Yeah, they are going to pay more very soon.
You say they pay how much?
No, I'm saying that if I'm assuming assumption even if one person.
Let's make it clear that you're assuming.
No. What the figures I'm quoting is even far lower.
It's lower than what?
I mean, it can be.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you're still live on Newday here on TV3.
500 per person. It's much lower.
We're having a conversation about this whole delegate system situation that has ended up at Ghana's Supreme Court. Professor Frimpong Boateng, Dr. Nyawo Tamakulu, and one other doctor, I'll just mention the name shortly. They have taken the matter over to the Supreme Court. Amwakunyama. They have taken the matter over to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is basically being asked to speak on this particular matter. Earlier on, I made reference to the constitutional provision, Article 55.5. It says the title is Organization of Political Parties, and it first, under Clause 1, it guarantees the right to form political parties. Every citizen of Ghana of voting age has the right to join a political party, and subject to the provisions of this article, a political party is free to participate in shaping the political will of the people, to disseminate information on political ideas, social and economic programs of a national character, and sponsor candidates for elections to any public office other than district assemblies or local government units. So that's the restriction that we've all been dealing with, that the previous government had tried, and the NDC, that disagreement over whether the election of MMDC should be on partisan lines. You remember that whole disagreement about that. And the 5 is where, the 4 actually, before I come to the 5, the 4 says, every political party shall have a national character, and membership shall not be based on ethnic, religious, regional, or other sectional divisions. Now, the 5 is where the bone of contention now is. The internal organization of a political party shall conform to democratic principles, and its actions and purpose shall not contravene or be inconsistent with the Constitution or any other law. And so the question that the court is basically being asked is whether the current delegate structure conforms to democratic principles. And the Attorney General and the NDC seem to suggest that, well, it does not conform to it, just as the plaintiffs have put before the court. The MPP says that, well, it's constitutional, as we've heard from them as well. And so where do we go from here? Joining me in the studio this morning as well, Victor Kojoga Adaodu, who is a legal practitioner, member of the National Democratic Congress as well. Senior, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. And let me just apologize. I had some little emergency. That's why I'm a bit late. Yes.
I mean, let me start off this way. I mean, the point Kwame makes about the attempt that is being made by the NDC and even all the political parties. I mean, you've been expanding over the period, but you have expanded and backtracked a bit. Now you are telling us in court through your lawyers that, well, you think that the delegate system is not democratic.
That's the Attorney General.
Yes, I've seen that of the NDC as well, the same position basically.
Yes, that the delegate system is not democratic.
Yes.
Yes, I don't think that is perfectly the case to say that the delegate system is not democratic. You know, before the delegate system, it has always been like a representational. So, in the beginning, when somebody has been selected as a delegate, it was a privilege. It was a recognition and the dignity that among his people, the same people who elect him that represent us be part of the delegates who would choose a leader or our representative. But we have moved. Society, as we grow prismatic. Society now has moved from that recognition and dignity and is becoming transactional. So now people see the delegate system as an opportunity to get closer to the representative and also assess opportunities that come. And some of these opportunities that people want to assess, sometimes they attach some conditions to it, which is making it very expensive. With electoral issues, election, there have always been reforms. We have tried several reforms. You can even look at when we started voting, I think 92, 96, where opaque boxes were used. We moved to transparent boxes. Now, whilst reforms were being done, you will even see the NDC at the time with the delegate system where it was becoming transactional. It was becoming like people were being held ransom, that if you don't exchange something for us, we will not be able to come. Now people, it was not a dignity anymore and say that I am going to be part of people who will elect our representative or the leader. Now it says that if you don't buzz me there or send me to the place to vote, I was not going to go. So that was how the genesis of all that. Now we have to start to cater for their food, cater for transport, cater for other little things so that you'll be able to move to a venue. This is how it got. Now, the delegate system, we realize that it has been monetized. And once it's been monetized, not maybe cash alone, right? People will ask you something. I've stood the election before, and I'll tell you one little experience before I continue. You know, there was this village, this young man who was a branch chairman. He comes to me, he eats in my house, we do everything. Only to go there, whilst I was going to meet the delegates, he says, for my community, we are looking for a megaphone to be erected. So we are selling our vote. You know, then I just told my team, I said, oh, okay, I don't have that money for your megaphone. It's not that I cannot buy it, but you want me to give you a megaphone before you give me your vote. Okay, keep it. The person who will buy you the megaphone, you can give your votes to him.
Let me guess, the person won.
And I left. Yes, the person won. But tell me, up to date, they don't have the megaphone. And when he comes to my house, I sacked him. I said, no, don't enter my house. Because it was, for me, it was how do we resolve issues, relationship. And he asked me that I should buy. Until they don't have that megaphone. So this is how it has become. And once it's monetized, you know, it benefits the individuals. It does not benefit the community. So that was why we were looking at it. And the disadvantage of the delegate system is that it is about individuals. Individualism is not about collective people. So everybody wants to get to who is supposed to be their representation. That's why the NDC tried to look at
One man, one vote.
One man, one vote, 2015. Yes, it brought some changes, successes. At the same time, there were weaknesses that were identified. And that was, now when it is in, one of the advantages for one man, one vote is that now you have to go to every community, the community within your constituency, where you meet the people, town hall, because it is the community that has to benefit. It has moved from individuals to the community. So now, what does the community want? What do they want? They share their problems with you, and you are able to see how you'll be able to resolve it. That was something we felt that whilst the number is large, you will not be able to give money to everybody. It's not everybody. How many people can you give? What work do you do? You are not a philanthropist that you go in and you want to give money to everybody. So that was one of the advantage, thinking it will keep. But we saw the downside of it. The downside was that because it's one man, one vote, and we should blame ourselves for greed, because it was a simple majority. So they were now registering people who even didn't know
who were not
what
party members.
Yeah, party members.
I have a problem with that. They said they are party members. They've registered.
No. What happened is that somebody who even belongs to, for every party, I'll speak for NDC. I know MPP. If you're a member of NDC, you cannot be a member of MPP.
Yeah,
no, it's cut across. If you're a member of one party...
There's a difference between voting and being a member of a party.
Yes.
There is a difference.
Right? So if you're a member, now our own people go to register everybody from different parties. They register because of the simple majority. And what was the criteria? The criteria was that you should pay your dues. So they pay dues for them, all of them, and they go to vote. That was where the infiltration comes in. And you realize that you'll be thinking, I have 5 million members, but your register tells you you have about 10 million people. At the end of the day, you go to the polls, you realize that no. So that's the infiltration. And who caused it? Who did it? It is our own people. We did it ourselves because of greed. Secondly, when the one vote happened, now the structures got weakened. The structures in that when you go to the branch chairman enjoys his position. I'm the branch chairman. I'm the constituency chairman. Now they are saying that all of us, we have one vote. So to take instruction from the branch chairman, right, and say this is how to keep you in line, everybody says, no, you have one vote, I have one vote. So it's like, so now nobody wants to take order, and that is how the structure actually breaks down. Because everybody thinks that I just have to go and register, pay my dues, and I vote. So bringing people together, the policies of the party and how to push it was becoming a problem. That's the weakness that you found in that system. Now, the Supreme Court issued saying that, yes, universal adult suffrage is something that everybody cares about. But it will be a huge problem for the parties. We need to look at the modality. If the Supreme Court rules, as the Attorney General is saying, nobody says that representational system is undemocratic. It is democratic. But how do we improve upon it? And now if you go and give the blanket that everybody should vote, will the parties be able to stand it? It will be difficult for the parties unless we put it. I have always said, listen, we may not like it, willy-nilly. If you are in government, you don't see the need why public should fund political activities. If you're in opposition, you now appreciate the fact that public, the state, should fund political activity. And I'm telling you that if the public decides, or as a society we decide that we should fund political activities, most of this, and we put modalities in place, most of these issues of corruption or pork barrel projects, every party comes, they want to do a huge project at the end of the day so that they will be able to have some money, right, to be able to implement some of their things. Ask a simple question. Why would a party be in government? The party is doing well. Maybe the party is rich. They have money to do things. The moment they go to opposition, just a month or two, they will start crying. They don't have money. It tells you that there are some leakages. Some monies are being masqueraded as if it's being used for some project that goes to the party. So for me, the one man, one vote, yes, may solve some problem, but not in its entirety.
I mean,
it will create other problems. What we need to be looking at as a society is put in steps, modalities, how we can finance political party activities. We should put the time frame when political activities should start. The moment we finish one election, the next day, when you are in opposition, you start reorganization. So every day it is political activity for the next 4 years. Even the government that comes in doesn't have a briefing space to be able to concentrate on the policies to move the nation forward. Listen, I've always said, if the party leaders, national, all the executives are being paid some stipend, right? You think that if I become maybe the national chairman of my party, and there's something that I have to sign for, at the end of the day, I know I'll be audited. You think that I'll do it? Something that I cannot account for because I'll be audited. But as we speak now, Electoral Commission is supposed to audit political party. How many times have you heard it's been done critically? We need to look at it. If it's public funds, the Auditor General will be able to audit the funds. Because you are putting it there, you are paying the people. And once you are paying them, they'll be able to audit and say, account for what has been given to you. I'm telling you, it will cut down some of the wastages we see in the system. Because some of the wastage we see in the system is all about political activities. Because somebody comes and says, we are in government, we should be able to do this. They don't really care about what has to be done. But if there are steps in there, the law says you can do A, B, C, D. If we give you maybe a political party, this is the amount we are giving you. You cannot, like he was saying, posters all over. You have to do things that would be able to endear you to the delegates or the society to be able to vote for you. But if we put modalities in place, it tells you you can do A, you cannot do B, right? And the enforcement. I always give a simple analogy that if we say bribe, a delegate comes or somebody, and he comes to say that during the election, I gave him bribe, or this man, Ebo, gave him bribe, and we are contesting the same thing. If that man will come and report you, and you are disqualified, right? Report, you are disqualified. I'll be scared to give somebody. And even knowing that there will be traitors, somebody will try to induce me to give him and go and report and say, this is the money.
People will be claiming that I've received money when they to take you out of the
But with that, there will be some fear. There will be some fear and evidence that if I'm caught, this is what will happen to me. I'll be banned from even public elections. So there will be people who will now want to set trap for others. And people will now be very careful. That is the kind of way we will have to adopt modalities that will be able to bring this down. But if there is evidence and it says clearly, this is the money you gave me, this is the serial number of money you gave me. I'll put the serial number down. I said, this was the time he gave to me. I've captured him. He knows what you will lose, right? I know what I will lose. So we will be suspecting, each other, and we will not even try it. So for me, we have to sit down and have a dialogue, not as a partisan dialogue. This is where we are going.
There should be a national dialogue.
There should be a national dialogue, and let's find solution to it. Let's find a homegrown solution. We can't take everything that democracy brought. It is, it developed out of their customs, out of their culture. What is our culture? What do we want to do? What do we want to achieve? And for me, it is not about the interpretation that the Supreme Court will
In fact, it's the last question I virtually asked both of them as well, and maybe you may agree with that this is a matter that is better handled outside of the courtroom.
You know, yes, this is a matter that when we sit down, our political actors, leadership or stakeholders, we know the problems. But you know, sometimes it's not easy coming to sit on national television and say this is the problem. Nobody wants to bail the cat, right? Nobody wants to bail the cat. There's something called a slush fund, right? Slush fund. But who will come and speak about slush fund? The moment you speak about it, the moment you get to the party headquarters, you'll be ostracized. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
You see, but these are some of the things that sometimes comes out. You remember the case of Avalifo?
Yes, yes. The
Obed Asamoah.
The money
and
that
Avalifo.
2 officers.
At the end of the day, they said it was money that belonged to the party and others. But who dare you to go and speak about it if he hadn't come out as a criminal matter? There's some of the, but I'm sure that when the actors meet and they discuss, they'll be able to find solution. And that was one of the things that Afarijan, when he was the electoral commissioner, he was doing. That was where the inter-party advisory came up. Yeah. And he brings them and says, look, this is the problem. What is the solution? What do you think we can do? That brought about the 10. The time we went for the 10 election. You know, he called them. We could have decided we were going to court. The parties would decide that, oh, we have won. This number, if it's added to us, but he sat with the parties and said, look, this is what the issue. How do we solve it? I think, and my personal view, that it will be better handled than giving a blanket decision and says all political parties should adopt the 1 man, 1 vote. That will bring a lot of problem excesses that the parties now have to go. And remember, for also that our political party law says that there should not be any foreign donation to our political. But what do we see today? We can't say some of the things like I told you, right? But the truth of the matter is, so if a foreign entity decides to give to this man, and this man comes to donate to the party, is he Bachman who has donated or the foreign entity? He uses Bachman as a front. These are practical issues with political parties we need to look at. Okay. And for me, I think that the state should be looking at the time in coming in and put modalities that we can move forward. Okay. That politics becomes transformational. We are looking for transformational leadership. But what we are practicing now is more of a transactional leadership.
But there were some points you wanted to follow up on.
We have adopted, whether you like it or not, we've adopted democracy to be our system of governance. And so we need to do it well. And at the heart of democracy is elections, issue of election. And so if we don't do something about it, our current situation, and we continue like this, I don't think we should expect any different results from the kind of results we are having. I believe that there should be a higher rules and regulations that all the political parties will have to conform to or comply with. Because just look at, I guess this rough calculation when Kwame mentioned the number of people who voted in the last election, and realistically, each candidate spent more than 500 Ghana on a delegate. Considering the fact that some of them went around 2 times, 3 times before the D-Day. And
that's a very moderate estimate.
Yes, if you do the simple calculation, you have about 140 million. And it could be times 2 or times 3 of the amount.
140 million cedis.
Yes, 140 million. And I'm thinking.
Like, so if, for example, if you want to be a presidential candidate.
Yes, that is on D-Day. I'm talking about D-Day.
The D-Day.
Yeah. So if
let's be.
No, let him.
If you are illustrating, giving examples, it's okay.
I'm giving an example. I'm coming. Because I'm going to give the other side of it. Because I'm told even the NDC delegates are more than MPP delegates. And if the same thing should happen in NDC too, it's going to be even more than this amount that I've quoted. That is my worry. The point I'm making is that, yes, democracy by its definition is representative. And so it is not about just the representative or not representative. The issue is, how does it impact our development? How is our current democratic system impacting our development? And I'm saying that, given the fact that it breeds corruption, excessive corruption, it affects our national development. And that should be a matter of concern to us, that can we put in place a system that will be less expensive so that it will have that effect that we want to have on our national development. For me, that should be the argument. It shouldn't be just having a one man, one vote. If the one man, one vote is going to make it more expensive, then it doesn't make sense. Then rather we should go to the system where every polling station should have one person. Well, that's how we started with, for example, in MPP. That's why it was less expensive. If it's about representative or representation, then why not one person, but about 5 people? My concern is the costs.
Okay.
Because if it's one person, it is still democratic. Because as I said, if you look at the definition of democracy, it says a government of the people. So the president sitting there is a representative of the people.
Okay.
Are you getting the point? It's the same with the MPs. So, as a country, we have nowhere to go except to be within these 4 walls of democracy. How do we do in such a way that democracy will not, if you like, distort the equilibrium of our development, but rather would enhance our development? We look back and we say this system has been of great benefit to us as a nation. Every election, as a nation, what we need to do is let's look at the cost, the total cost of election from political party level to the national level. Let's see how much it costs us to elect a president. And see what can you do to reduce that cost? Because certainly if you reduce that cost, it will have effect on national development. So it shouldn't be, because we went for an election and had free and fair election, then democracy is good for us. Democracy should go beyond free and fair elections. It should translate into development. That, yes, people voted for you from a community. If you go to that community, they are not drinking from the same pond with cows and goats. They are drinking good water. People voted for you from this community. If you go there, they have good hospitals or clinics. That should be what democracy, that should be the benefit or the essence of democracy. Not free and fair election, after that poverty all over the place, because you spend so much for somebody to become a member of parliament, for somebody to become a president, and at the expense of the development of the country. I think that should be the focus of the argument. Not just about the numbers, but the costs of democracy to our development.
I was just some small point.
Yeah.
Now, if we are saying we've tried the delegate system, it's not working well, we are calling for one man, one vote, and that does not also work well.
What do we
Are we going to try the proportional representation in that you have all parties, they contest the percentage that you garner in the election, then the party will now choose people and say, we have this number of percentage, we have people line up. So from the first to maybe 50 or to 100, if we have up to maybe 50%, it will be the first to 50 people who represent. Does that become representative? It is being practiced. So when it comes to democracy, it is you have to, I always say, let's look at the homegrown solution. Homegrown solution that we do not adopt. Once we do that, then...
Well, there's this report that the CDD put out the last year, we're in 2026, so last year. They've been tracking the cost of running for presidency, and they put a figure at $200 million. If you want to successfully prosecute a presidential agenda and stand a chance of winning, you need $200 million. A boy is running for president next year. Every
parliamentary, I've run away from it. Every parliamentary, I've run away from it.
There are some points you want to look at for. You can go ahead.
Easy. The calculation that Ebo made, right? If you are to put to the other side, let's go for one man, one vote. You know, as we're saying. And as was said, let's say a political party has about 5 million registered voters, right? You are not saying we are spending 500. So let's assume this one, I mean, like we said, they want some food, they want some, that one is a given, right? So let's say you spend 50 cedis on one person for the 5 million. Now calculate the 50 cedi times 5 million and calculate the 500 times 230. You see that it's more than double the amount. So if it is a cost only that we are looking at, we have to be careful, right? But as we all agree, we have to find ways to reduce the total cost of running our election. And let's be honest to ourselves. Elections, let's say democracy is an expensive undertaking.
Yeah.
Elections is not cheap anywhere in the world. So what we have to seek to do, how do we reduce it? Right? I understand the report from the CDD is about 200 million.
Yeah.
How much should it have been? Because it can't be zero. You know, election comes with a cost. So what is the most efficient way of running for president in Ghana?
I think the cost. Will not matter if we are being financed in a transparent manner.
Oh, then maybe we have to look at the financing as was being said. I think the financing of the political parties is what maybe we have to scrutinize.
Because
and like I said, we have to also implement our current laws. We have a law against bribery. Yeah. And we are not implementing it.
And Kwame, and that is where I have a problem. You remember the petition we sent to
the special
prosecutor. It was sent with good intentions because we wanted to know how you were able to raise money to buy the number of pickups your candidate bought. We wanted to know. That is how we build a society. That's how we build our democracy. That you said you single-handedly bought this number of pickups for your political party. And it doesn't sit well if you juxtapose it with your salary as vice president. So how did you get the money? You see, in America, a political party raised, it has to be internally, raised money for elections. And the candidate also used about some few dollars to buy laptop for a child. My God, it was a big issue.
Scandal.
Big scandal. So if we are copying, if it's democracy that we are copying, and you think we are copying the American system and the British system, then let's copy how they're able to reduce the cost of...
We are not copying the American system or the British system.
No, what are you copying?
Like we said, it's a homegrown solution.
No, ours is not homegrown.
Ours is not exactly...
Perhaps that is why it is more corrupt.
Ours is not exactly the same as American.
Let's come in.
That's why I mentioned the two.
I'm coming, hold on.
Every candidate is free to raise money. It doesn't have to come from your own pocket. Yeah. Nobody has gone to election and they finance it from their own pocket.
But
it doesn't exist anywhere.
But tell us where you got the money. That should be because
that should not be coming from you. Let the EC come and ask.
Oh no! It should come from me. See, I'm a citizen. It should come from me.
We have lost. We have lost.
When you go for election, right? Yes, you use some of your own money. Others, friends, people, relatives, or benefactors, people who think that this man has what it takes to be a leader.
Yes.
So they bring it. But most of them don't want to be known. They come and give to you. They don't want to be known and said, I have contributed to your. It will only come and say when you have won. Maybe, as we've been taught, you go back to say thank you. That appreciation. So, look, it cuts across everywhere that when you're going for election, you're looking for your friends, you're looking for people who you know. When you win, they will definitely come to you for some opportunity. So it is time you also go and say, look, I know when I'm there, I might be beneficial to you. Not that for corruption or anything. Maybe you want something to be done. Sometimes they come to little issues. Sometimes I sit down and some of my boys, my constituency, maybe they call me, somebody has been arrested, is a trotro driver, something. I just go to see and I say, there's no issue. But just because of this, they say, we want somebody at the top that when we have issue and we call him, he can speak for us. So these people would, even they don't have the money, they'll try to contribute something small to your election.
A final question around the table for everyone. How about our thinking as voters? We are voters, our thinking as voters. Because in all of this, like Kwame was saying, the voters will say that they expect to be transported. I mean, in national elections, we walk and go and vote. Of course, yes, the political party sometimes also bans people as well. But should we not get to the point where, so the US example, for instance, they are the members of the party are financing the party. Whereas in our situation, the candidates have to find a way to finance themselves and even give some of the money to the parties. Is that not a...
Let me give you the genesis of it. You know, during the Nkrumah time, the party people were contributing. Whilst he was going campaigning, you know, on the road, people would contribute and give to Nkrumah that we want you as a leader. That was how it used to be. That's why I started. I said, look, it was appreciation and recognition people will even be pushing that we want you to become our MP. We want you to be the leader. Now, it has moved in that I don't want to use any profession. We are all colleagues. We live in the same community. Then we ask that you should be the representative. By the time you come back, they have seen that your lifestyle has changed drastically. Are you getting it? The number of cars. So it is the lifestyle of the politicians sometimes that even make the voters thinking that, look, we are getting him to somewhere that there will be a change in his lifestyle. So if there is a change in his lifestyle, he needs to make sure that we also get our benefits before he gets there. Okay. That's the whole concept there.
They say it openly.
They say it openly.
They tell you that.
But if you're a leader, you've been there, and when you come back and you mingle with the same people, you eat with them, you do things, and tell them what the situation is, they appreciate it more.
Okay.
I get it. So sometimes the lifestyle of our leaders who
that causes that.
Yes, causes that.
Yes. Because they tell you that as we are voting for you, we will not see you again. So give it to us before you go. So that has been the mantra. Well, you know, they tell them that. So and I think it tells a story about how our leaders
relate with them.
Always disconnect with the grassroots once they get power. That is why they think I also have to get it now before you go, so that I know you will not mind me again. But you see, the bigger picture has to be that let's use our constitution. The constitutional review process is still ongoing, isn't it? Let's see what we can do with our constitution to solve this problem.
Okay. Kwame, I'll give you the final word on this.
Yes, I'll continue to say, is that let's look at our existing laws within the confinement of our existing laws. What can we do to reduce these costs? And I agree. You see certain people being voted into certain positions, and then they come back and, like you are saying, their lifestyle has changed. And then the citizens do not see a change in their life. That's where the problem is, right? If you genuinely ensure that there is development and improvement in the lives of your constituents, trust me, they won't care how much you have made, because they also see improvement in their own lives. But here is the case. I think example was being made. You go to a certain constituency, they are still drinking from the water that is unhygienic. They still don't have places where they can release themselves. They still don't have enough access to healthcare. They still don't have enough access to education. And then the MP will come in with the biggest car, build the biggest house on top of the biggest mountain so that everybody will see. That is a problem. That would be a problem.
That's a problem.
So as a society as a whole, I think there's a discussion we have to have. We have to sit down and of course, led by the political actors, and ensure that we reduce the cost of elections in this country. And that is very key. If not, I don't see the one man, one vote going to help immediately if we don't take it as a comprehensive discussion, and discuss it.
I see. There's a politician friend of mine who told me something a long time ago. He said that because of the cost they incur in running for power, they don't joke with the ex-gratia, because that one, when he's exiting and he takes it, he knows that he doesn't owe anyone anything. That's the way he will also survive small and get something.
Some of them use it to pay their loans they took for the election.
You are deep in debt. But that is the conversation on the first topic. I will briefly touch on a second issue. We know that this week our compatriots from South Africa have come into the country. I mean, we all saw the videos. Very, very unfortunate scenes. We've heard from what the South Africans have also been saying that it appears Ghana is overreacting and everything. And I mean, it sparks a lot of concerns. Yesterday, we saw a statement on social media about Cambodia. We've heard from the Cambodia government this morning saying that statement is actually not true. They are saying that no such statements have been issued, asking various nationals, including Ghana, giving them about a 30-day window to leave the country immediately. That's the claim that the government is saying, that It is not true. But there's a bigger conversation to be had in the wake of our Ghanaians, our fellow Ghanaians in South Africa coming back to the country is to what extent can we make the country the primary point for our citizens? And there's a part of the conversation that those who have come have listened to, and you primarily see that the kind of jobs they are doing in South Africa, if you've listened to most of them, they are not particularly jobs that some may even want to do here in Ghana, if you listen closely. You see that these are basically a lot of them and who are people who are trying to survive because the same jobs that they are doing there, if they were doing it here, they may not earn as much as they earn there. And so they manage to go through it and they still get some good money. But what can we do to ensure that we make our country better, basically? I don't know if it's even the right way to look at it, aside from the substantive issue of the South Africans and what they must do to protect other African nationals in their country. So we'll just take brief comments around the table and wrap up. Let me start with you, Senior, on this issue.
I think that the government has shown some good faith, and at least to our king and queens who were in South Africa, who were caught up in the xenophobic attack, that, there is a proverb. Let me start with this proverb in my language. The proverb says that there is no way a log would ever remain in the river and become a crocodile, right? So once you travel, the kind of jobs you do, thinking that you can make it more than home. Home would definitely remain your home, no matter what you do, when things are difficult. And most of these people travel to seek greener pastures. And also, like you said, maybe the remuneration is what attracts most of them there. But at the end of the day, when they go, they realize that it is not like what they thought it would be. And I think government have been proactive by going to evacuate its citizens who they have brought home. Now the issue is the unemployment that is even existing. Now we are bringing other people who had come in. How do we cater for these people? Yes, thank God our family system is that extended. Although we are now moving towards the nuclear family system, there's the safety net, that safety net for families that will be able to take care of their less privileged members in their family, that at least it is there. That, uncle took care of me, I have responsibility to also take care of a nephew or a niece. That culture, it's still existing with us. That even if you don't do it yourself, you feel that, things are not going well. So for me, we need to look at it as a society. Is it always fitting or beneficial to travel to places when your job is not secured? You go and get involved in menial job, and because you get involved in menial jobs, sometimes it's even difficult for you to travel home. So it's an issue that we have to look at carefully. And like I said, unemployment, it cuts across everywhere. It doesn't know who is NPP, who is NDC. It cuts across, and it's becoming like a social time bomb, because the number of youth people who are not employed is increasing. I think we need to think out of the box to be able to create something. I think one of the things we're looking at is the entrepreneurship for people to be able to develop their own businesses, not always about white-collar jobs. But I think we are not doing much in that way when it comes to job creation. I don't think we are doing much as a nation. We need to look at it, because the teeming youth that is coming out of school, the people who are to go into apprenticeship, I think we have tried also to make it that apprenticeship, whilst people are being given some jobs and others, I think we need to think out of the box. I've always believed that two heads are always better than one. We've been complaining. You have been complaining. What is the way out? If we are able to have, it's not like a partisan thing, some small group thinks and say, oh, yes, we have solved this problem, we provided this job. It's about society. And, the youth are more than the elderly now. So we will still have problem. And we have a national dialogue. What are the areas we can create job? Because look, the basic instance, the Maslow theory will tell you that all that people want is survival, the basic needs. If the basic needs are satisfied, I don't think people would even want to travel from here. One day I want to see a Ghana where people are even traveling in to come to Ghana to come and work. Ghana becomes very prosperous, that we are not going to travel out. They see this as a beacon of hope where everybody will want to be here. So I think the people who have come evacuate, let them also exercise patience. Let them look for the other opportunities, what they can do. I know some people will stay for some few years, months, and say, oh, we want to go back. We want to go back because they think that being there, they will be a little bit more beneficial for them when it comes in terms of
the remuneration
and to earn a living than being here. So I think that family safety net should be provided, and we look at how we can create jobs. It's sometimes very difficult. A lot of people, you meet them, and they are unemployed, and there's nothing you can do. They complain, they think that, oh, you are at the top there, so you should be able to provide. But it's not like that.
I mean, I remember you remember when they were doing the recruitment, the military recruitment, the numbers. At least my mates from university, I can count 7 who have joined the U.S. Army. And they were telling me that it's easier to get into the U.S. Army than get into the Ghana Army. And they've just gone. I mean, obviously, ideally, if they had their way, they should be back home working here. I mean, it's a big problem.
It's a big problem. And this topic can be linked to the first one. The issue of how we can manage the system in such a way that it will churn out more job opportunity for the youth. You shouldn't spend more money in electing a president than spending more money in creating jobs for the youth. We'll be able to look at how we can, yes, much as we want to protect our democracy, let's also see how we can generate more job opportunities for the youth. And it's quite unfortunate. And even before I go any further, it is important to commend the government for the manner in which it has handled this matter. In my view, I think the government has demonstrated commitments, particularly the Foreign Affairs Minister. He's shown commitment, he's shown leadership.
The South Africans think we overreacted.
No, don't mind them. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore them. I'll come to that, but ignore them. You see, so I think, yes, and over the years, I think we've shown that commitment. You remember, I don't know whether you were there, 1983-84, when Ghanaians were sacked from Nigeria. Ghana must go.
Ghana must go.
How we were able to evacuate Ghanaians from Nigeria.
Yeah, but why is it that when you are recalling, you end there? But if you go to 69, we also...
I'm talking about evacuation.
But in the context of...
We did it and they
also retaliated.
But I'm looking at the issue of evacuation.
Yes.
And the previous government also did very well in evacuating. So we do so well in evacuating. Let's do so well in creating the job opportunity so that they don't go in the first place. Are you getting it? And for me, I think for what South Africa has done, if it to be possible, I think they should be taken out of AU. The AU must bite and bite very hard. I think this is not a good sign for Africa Continental Free Trade Area, for the African unity that we are all preaching. Their action should be condemned. Not only that, I think they should be taken out of the AU, or they should be suspended for some time. And also, one other issue that has also come up strongly is the kind of if you follow what is going on social media, people are talking about retaliation and all that. I think we should, on the side of retaliation, I think we should allow the government to deal with this issue at the governmental level. And I support the argument that GoFoot's lease should not be renewed next year. I support it 100%, 1,000%. This morning I saw something on social media. I think it's about Heath Heath go first or something like that.
The one linked to Dr. Kwame Dufo.
Yes, he made a statement which is very, very profound. He said Prestia has been a mining town for 124 years with little to prove. Heath go first will change that narrative. If we can allow Ghanaians to take the commanding height of our mining sector and other important sectors of the economy, there's this adage that if your family vulture eats your meat, at least some will remain, no matter what. Some remains. For those, my family members who are along the Cape Coast, Ayedan, Emisechil, the point, what I'm saying is that Ufi Petre or Yonama, Ibika. So it should be possible for us to allow Ghanaians to take over some of these major mining companies. We should begin to prepare ahead of time to see how we can put Ghanaians businessmen together to be able to raise money to be handled Gold First Ghana Limited next year.
Okay.
As you take it away from the South Africans. But you see, the bigger issue for me is what we would have to do as a nation to reduce the number of people who go out of this country for greener pastures. No matter how we develop this country, no matter how we create jobs in this country, there are people who still want to travel.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? But the numbers should not be in such, I mean, it shouldn't be that it's because I don't have job in my country. That is why I'm going to do any job at all just to survive. That's why I'm saying that democracy should be able to create that opportunity for the youth. And that is why I want to re-echo the fact that let's manage the way we do elections in this country so that we can have more money to create job opportunities for the youth.
Okay.
As for South Africans and the things they've done, normally, South Africans, they hardly travel. The South Africans, they hardly travel. Like the way Ghanaians will travel, and they hardly travel. If it is not big company that is asking them to come, or they hardly travel to go and hustle in other countries. So what they are doing, they think, oh, I'm going to be in South Africa forever. But forgetting that they have relatives. They have other people who are also working in other parts of the country. Can you imagine if all African countries say, South Africa, go back to your country. We are not going to do any business with you. MTN, go back to your country. APSA, go back to your country. All of them. Do you think what's going to happen? Do you think about what is going to happen?
Right.
So, yes, for those who want to retaliate, let's allow the government to deal with this issue at governmental level. I believe that first thing that the government should do is not to renew the lease agreement of the Gophers, the South African company. That one, the government, if you do it, I think Ghanaians will be very angry with you. So don't do it at all.
Let me end with Kwame. You have lived abroad. You've gone to school abroad. You've went abroad, but you're back in Ghana.
Yes, I mean, if you listen to what Ebo said, oh no, actually, I think you said it. Like if you listen to those that are coming and you look at the jobs that they are doing there, these are all menial jobs. Yeah. Right. I mean, fortunately for me, because I schooled there, I mean, I have quite a good job over there. I was just like one of them over there. But like, my brother is saying, whatever it is, home is home. No matter how successful you are outside, home is home. And it's always different when you are home. Yeah. No matter the success you have outside, if you are successful, if you are okay in your country, it's better than having millions or billions in someone else's country that you cannot go back to. So that is established. And one of the things is that, yes, we say the remuneration is good elsewhere, but if you look at the conditions that our countrymen and women live in some of these countries, is very, very alarming. Even in the Western countries, because to be able to, yes, you get paid more than you will get paid in Ghana. But at the same time, the expenses, the costs, everything is also higher than in Ghana. When I see people calculating, multiplying the cedis by some money that people earn abroad, I think, are you also multiplying the rent, that they pay there with the cedis? Are you multiplying the fuel? Are you multiplying the insurance? Everything is also higher than here. So for people, especially those doing menial jobs, for them to be able to save enough to come and do something in Ghana, it means their living condition will be very, very low compared to the standards that is, common
in those countries.
Right? And sometimes, especially when you go to South Africa, when you go to the Arab countries and all that, There are conditions that you don't want. You don't even want your worst enemy to be living in. But they are doing it because they think they will get some money to come and spend here in Ghana. So I agree with my brothers that we have to ensure that we create jobs. We create the environment which will limit the number of people going out to see greener pastures. I mean, I think between 2017 and 2020, thereabout, we had to repatriate people from Libya. I think it was 5,000 people that we had to bring from Libya, together with the international organization. Libya. Some of them, if you see the conditions they were living in, I mean, it's appalling. But it's because they think they cannot survive here. And then they pass through the desert, they get there, and it's even worse than they are here. You know, so I also heard a story, you know, I think recently, about a guy who had a decent job here in Ghana, you know, had a family. And he thought he would sell his house and his cars and then go to Canada. And he's now in Canada and he has regretted. Because if you compare the amount of money he was earning here, though it's not as the same as he's earning in Canada, but if you look at the cost
of living there,
then he was better off here in Ghana. You know, sometimes when you tell people, say, you're going to come back. You are talking.
You're going to enjoy it, you experience, and you're looking more fresh.
But it's not easy. No, in all honesty, I mean, the friends, the family friends that I've known that are still there, they are struggling. They are struggling. But of course, it's because some of them, when they come home, it's even worse at home. So what we have to do, we have to make sure that we improve the conditions at home by creating more jobs. And that is what we all have to look at. And that's the basic point. And I agree that, you know, we have to reduce the cost of elections if it will translate into creating more jobs. If it will translate into, you know, bringing development at home. Because basically that's what we are all looking for.
As for me, I love living in Ghana because of the food. When I go out of the country 2-3 days, then Charlie, I struggle to. It's not easy anyways. Big Issue always is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through our dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security diplomacy, accounting, finance or human resource management, and LLM in international law, security, diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open. You can apply today because at University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning, flexible entry, and flexible payment. You can study around your work and life and choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments as well. Your dream deserves structure. Your future deserves strategy. Your purpose deserves training as well. You can apply now at www.ugc.edu.gh or you can call or WhatsApp us on the number 026-388-8555. University of Gold Coast building leaders for the nations. That's all time will allow us for this segment. My guest this morning have been Kwame Prempeh. Kwame Prempeh is with the New Patriotic Party. He's also a former deputy head of the Public Procurement Authority and an aerospace engineer as well. Okay, you heard him there. He's running for national organizer of the opposition New Patriotic Party.
It's a fine gentleman.
Ebo has just endorsed him.
And a good organizer for that matter.
Okay. So
even though I don't wish his party well to win the next
I mean, last week you said you support Kamadi to win the internal elections, but
that's for external
you oppose it. Ebo Backman is with the United Party, a regular on the Friday dot as well, and Victor Kojogada will do a legal party member of the National Democratic Congress. Thank you all for joining us on this segment this morning. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk sports. The World Cup is very, very close. There's some latest updates for you in terms of our players. Some of our big names are now in camp now. How is the team shaping up? There are big names. Antoine Semenyo is not in camp yet. We'll update you. He's a big name. The training videos we've seen, we've not seen Semenyo. So Ghana will shock all of you. You wait and see. We are going to the final. That's what you're telling me. Hey, final, they're ready you. We'll do our very best. We'll be right back with a very
therapy for you.
They have to reduce the time. They make us play like almost 1 hour and a half.
So they have to reduce. Coach Anderson, please. Your play, but what is the management of the team saying about this injury now?
Oh, we are working on it.
Has the coach said anything?
He said he's booking a trip for me.
Coach Anderson, please. One of our best is down. You need to get him back on track before we meet the next team, because I'm not sure what would happen when we meet another team next time, because this is our start. This is our Kudu / Semenyo, Mami, all the names, all in one. So please, take care of Oreku. But anyway, it's good to see you. I hope that you feel better soon.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about the Black Stars and our preparation for that friendly game that we have. That is going to measure our finesse for the World Cup. You know, a lot of people don't have confidence in the Black Stars for the World Cup, right? But tell us, I'm told that all of them are in Wales now. Is that correct? In Cardiff?
I think about 22 have arrived now.
Okay.
It was 16 initially throughout the week that trained on from Tuesday.
Okay.
However, from Thursday, 6 more players have joined the camp, and so the total is 22. Remember that it's 28 players that were called in total, and the new names that have joined the training in camp include Lawrence Atizigi, Kamaldeen Sulemana, Abdul Mumin Kwesi Sibo, Jonas Ajete, who was involved in the playoffs in Germany, and then Prince Kwabena Edu, who plays Victoria Pilsen. And so, I mean, it's good to see them come back, because for different reasons, engagements, matches, some had just finished their seasons, and so they needed a bit of rest before, getting straight into the World Cup. And so it's good to see the camp get really full. And I think one of the main positives is the fact that usually before international games, coaches get like just 2-3 days with the players, just a few sessions. It's not enough, yes.
Yeah.
And so it's good to see that the team are able to get at least a full week of training, staying together, bonding. And it enables the team, the coach to really have an imprint on the team. So I think that's really good to see. And hopefully we see positive signs with that one. Especially in the friendly game against Wales, which, by the way, we'll be showing here on TV3. Okay. And so that is on June 2 at 6:45 p.m. And so you do want to watch a match on TV3.
Okay. All right. We wish them the very best. I hope that it will not demoralize us, but it would, show us that it is possible at the World Cup. Anyway, on Sunday, you know that football match, Dreams FC. Who are they playing against?
Nations in the
Nations
FA Cup
FC.
final.
So it's the 2 FCs.
Yeah.
I've been invited by Dreams FC to come and watch.
Oh, really?
Yes, on Sunday.
Oh, that's nice.
So Dreams FC, let's see what happens Sunday morning. If I wake up and I see that people will score, then yes, I'll be at it's Legon City, right?
The Legon Stadium.
University of Ghana Stadium, yes. So that's where it will be played.
Yes.
But so what cup is this? MTN FA Cup?
FA Cup, yes.
So is this the grand finale? Is this the finals or something?
Yeah, the final game.
Oh, okay.
The thing about the FA Cup is that if you win it, it's even more about the trophy. It's more about what comes with it. It's the fact that you play in Africa next season. And so you get to play in the Confederations Cup. And so it's a good incentive for teams to take it very seriously.
Okay.
Dreams FC had a remarkable season this time around, finishing the top 4. And if you look at the recent winners, they only won it about 3 seasons ago when they got to the final, they won it, and then they played in Africa and got to the semi-finals of the Confederation Cup. And so they are recent beneficiaries of what the FA Cup can do. And so I think that perhaps has informed the seriousness that they've attached to it. They face a team in Nations FC who I think are in turmoil, especially after getting relegated in the Ghana Premier League. I'm not too sure their priority would be to win the FA Cup and play in Africa, because playing in Division 1 alone comes with its own stress, and financially not playing the Ghana Premier League would also take a toll on them. So,
right.
I mean, as things do stand, Dreams FC are the favourites.
Okay.
Not just on form, but I think with Nations getting relegated as well. But they remain focused, and their head coach says that it's been a good season for them, and now they are looking to crown it on Sunday.
Okay, let's take a look.
2023 season, I assisted my boss to win it. And the dynamics are different. I will be extremely elevated. But having said that, we may also qualify if we should win this competition. We also qualify to play continental football. And Dreams FC, when we won the FA Cup, we went to Africa and told an impressive story. I'm looking forward to replicate that, historic achievement. And even beyond that, I am extremely elated. I must be very honest. But kudos to the players, led by John Entry. They have told a very impressive story. Now, having said that, we started this Ghana Premier League on having won in Century Cup, pre-season cup. We started on a very slow note. We lost to Heart of Lions in Pando, we lost to Haas, and we're losing games, okay, even though we're playing some good football, but the results were not justified.
Winfred Dormon, the manager of Dreams FC, he has personally invited me.
Wow.
So make me a promise, Winfred, that you would win should I come on Sunday to watch that game. Please make me proud. Remember, I'm wasting my time and my energy and all of that. You know how energetic I am towards football. So promise me you score and I will be there on Sunday. Anyway, let's talk about is it Champions League? Yes. Champions League. What's happening this weekend?
So Arsenal will be facing Paris Saint-Germain. It's a big game, especially for both sides.
History. Budapest is on fire.
Indeed. History awaits both teams. Arsenal have never won the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain only won their first Champions League recently. And so if they win it again, it's back-to-back for them.
Okay.
And that's what the whole project has been for Paris Saint-Germain, investing money, millions, all over billions, in fact, in the past few years, to be able to elevate the club that they become competitive in Europe. And so,
hold on.
Yeah.
So Arsenal just won the English Premier League after 22 years.
Yeah.
But then again, they are competing in the Champions League with PSG.
Yeah.
So should they win that one, there'll be two winners.
Yes,
winners of Champions League and
then the Premier League.
Wow.
I don't think Arsenal fans have ever seen, they've never seen a season like that.
Wow.
I think it's a big opportunity.
Right.
It doesn't come around often to be able to win the Premier League and then
the Champions League
in the same season.
Okay.
And if they manage to do it, I think they will be remembered in history forever by Arsenal fans. And so it's a big task. It won't be easy facing the reigning champions Paris Saint-Germain, who are also very well motivated whenever it gets to the final few months of the season. And there you can see they won the title in 2024-2025. They'll be looking to defend it as well. And I think it would be really nice to see that game as well. Very, very competitive with a lot at stake.
Okay, so these are the English Premier League teams that have already won the Champions League. So Manchester United in 2007-2008, Chelsea 2011-2012, Liverpool 2018-2019, Chelsea back again in 2020-2021, Manchester City, this one I remember. Wasn't this when they won the treble?
Yes.
This was when they won the treble, right? I remember. I remember.
And the sad thing for Arsenal fans is that they are never in this list. Because they never won the Champions League. And so although they won
so it's the first time their name is actually featuring in the Champions League.
Yeah, if they win it, then it will be the first time. But it's a big if. But once you get to a final, you always stand a chance. The last time that they got to a final, I remember, was 2006.
Right.
I was very young then. I think I was in primary.
2000. That's 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Barcelona, yes.
Was the last time Arsenal was at the Champions League final.
Yeah. And they
have suffered. Oh.
Yeah, they actually went into the lead that match, and it looked like they were going to win, and Barcelona just turned their around 2-1. And they've not been to a final in 20 years. So that's the thing about the Champions League. When you get to the final, you need to make sure that you
register your name.
Because you don't know when you come to take.
Wow. Then it's a huge weekend for all Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Engineer Samoa, special good morning to you. Honorable Joyce Bauer Mokhtari, good morning to you as well. Listen, the number of politicians who are Arsenal fans, like it's a lot. Well, all Arsenal fans, good morning to you. I hope that you're doing well. And I hope that you win this one. But if they win this one, I don't know what will happen this weekend in the UK. It will be crazy.
I think they have a parade already set
already,
up,
yeah.
regardless of what happens.
Okay.
They've already won the Premier League.
So that's enough.
That's enough. But this,
the icing on the cake
indeed,
will be the Champions
the best
League.
icing ever if they are to win the Champions League. But yeah,
cool.
fingers crossed. We'll see how that one goes.
We wish them all the best.
It's 4 p.m., so make sure you don't miss it. We've never seen it in history, the Champions League history before. Only for the first time.
4 p.m.
Yeah, it's 4 p.m. Usually it's 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
This is 4 p.m. today?
No, on Saturday.
On Saturday.
So if you go and run some errands thinking it's 6 p.m., by the time you turn on the TV, the match is over.
It will be over.
So it's 4 p.m.
Okay,
Very
all right.
Unprecedented, but...
Okay, let's take a listen to the manager of is it Arsenal? Oh, the captain of Arsenal speaking.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's one game, so yeah, 90 minutes away from that, so we have something incredible to play for again, and we've said that the whole season, you know, Premier League, Champions League, the two big ones, we want to be there, you know, so another dream that we can make a reality, you know, so yeah, it's amazing to have that to look forward to with this energy, with this mood in the group, and to have a final to prepare for is, yeah, just so special, and everyone is just excited, and we want to play it straight away, you know.
Okay, big weekend in Budapest for Arsenal and PSG. Let's see what happens. But whatever happens, the parade on Sunday will still go on. We'll talk about it Monday when you guys come around. Thank you so much. We're very cool. And please, get well soon. Coach Anderson, one of us is down. We need medical attention ASAP, so make sure that we have it for him. Stay with us. It's still TV3 Newday. We have a lot more coming up before we wrap up for the weekend. to TV3 Newday. Let's talk about money, Luchi, Kudi, because it's all about the Money Summit. And this convergence, or let me say, this group of people coming together to talk about money, it involves regulators, policymakers, bankers, industry experts. All of them will be meeting at the premier annual financial conference, of course, powered by BNFT, Business and Financial Times, here in Ghana. And they have called it, or they are calling it, the Money Summit. And so this morning, Dr. Godwin Akwe, who is the CEO of Business and Financial Times, is here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to see you one more time.
Thank you very much.
The last time it was the Women's Conference. What was it? What was it again?
Women in Business.
Women in Business.
Yes.
But today it's the Money Summit.
The Money Summit.
So this one covers both men and women. Is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
You're right.
Tell us all about it. Is it the first time?
No, this is the sixth edition.
Time.
Yes.
I was telling you that I'm particularly very proud of BNFT because it started just as a newspaper giving us analysis, giving us investment ideas here, and they're telling us what's happening in the business world. To see you curate all these events just to help businesses in Ghana is very laudable.
Thank you.
Congratulations one more
Thank
time.
you very much.
So we are talking about the 6th edition of the Money Summit. Yes. What theme are we running with this year?
So this year, the theme is building trust, capital, and stability for Ghana's economic future.
Fantastic. What does that mean to the layperson?
Right. So you remember that a few years ago, Ghana had challenges when it comes to our financial sector.
Right.
So you have the banking cleanup. Yes, you have DDEP, and this eroded a lot of confidence, in the economy. So a few days ago, I was having a conversation with a friend in the financial industry, and he was recounting some of the difficulties that some investors went through due to the DDEP. I'm sure most people had done some investments and they were hit by
the haircuts.
Exactly. And now that we have some stability in the economy, people are still skeptical when it comes to investment. So what vehicle is safe for me to put my money?
Because yesterday, I don't know if you listened to the president, but at the CEO summit, he was telling everyone over there, and of course, the entire country, that the stability we are seeing is not just gimmicks. It would stay for a very long time. So that ties nicely into what you're doing.
Exactly so. So, yes, would all want to agree or believe that the stability is here to stay. But we need to continue to help people build that trust that, yes, the economy is okay. Now you can safely put in some money. If people have been hurt before, and it's difficult. So we have to continue this talk to ensure that people know that, okay, if I put my money back into the bonds, they are secure. I'm sure people have money sitting in their homes. So this is what we looked at. And also some topics like community-backed financing, that oil for gold, gold for oil and all that. We see the importance, and going forward, how we can stabilize the economy perpetually. So this is what we're looking at.
Okay. Who is eligible to attend?
So we deliberately looked at the those stakeholders of the financial sector. So we have invited people deliberately to come and then have good conversation, about the topic.
So it's strictly by invitation?
Strictly by invitation.
Okay. But why must we pay attention to this year's summit, Money Summit?
Okay. So as I said previously, most of us, or all of us, would want to cultivate that habit of investment. Where do you want to put that money? That small bits of money that you want to cultivate, that culture. Come listen, and stakeholders and experts will tell you exactly how to invest and where to put your money. And also, this year we are looking at the community banks. So previously it was known as the rural banks. Yes. a lot of us do not pay attention to what they do and their importance when it comes to the economy. They'll also be there to talk about what they do. Apparently, they are similar to the universal banks. You know, it's just that they don't have that capacity to do big tickets. So they will be there as well to talk about what they do. You know, there's a lot for us to learn. So I entreat all of us to listen. Yes.
Okay, but for those of us who have not been invited, is there any way we can listen online or anywhere?
So it will be streamed live on all our platforms.
Okay.
So if you key in the Business and Financial Times, you'll be on
So
live.
on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram,
exactly.
everywhere.
All the platforms.
Okay, when is it?
It's on Tuesday, 2nd June.
Okay.
Next week.
And what time and where's the venue?
9 a.m.
Okay.
It's at the Palms by Eagle.
Okay.
Yes.
Formerly
So,
Holiday Inn, is that
Holiday
correct?
Inn,
Formerly
yes,
Holiday
at
Inn.
airport.
At airport.
Yes.
All right. And do we have any speakers, key speakers who will be talking to us that
Okay,
day?
so we have representatives from the Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, we're expecting the governor.
Okay.
And then we have other key speakers from all the, you know, NPRA, you're looking at all the important sectors of the financials.
Right.
You have some key speakers coming in there.
Okay.
You know.
And I'm told you're doing this in collaboration with EcoBank.
Yes.
Is this the first time they are on board?
No, EcoBank has been with us as partners for a while.
Okay.
Fidelity Bank as well.
Okay.
You know, and then we have a partner, the Bank of Ghana is also a strategic partner.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I'm sure this collaboration between you and EcoBank has been meaningful over the years?
It has, because EcoBank is a strong brand, and they ask of you professionalism.
Right.
You know, they ensure that whatever you're doing with them is up to scratch, because the brand is very important.
Right.
So we need key, strong players like EcoBank, like Fidelity Bank, the Bank of Ghana, to ensure that what you're doing has strong brands, you know, attached to it.
Any more sponsors you want to say thank you to before we wrap up on this discussion?
So it's Bank of Ghana, we have EcoBank, and we have Fidelity Bank, and then our media partners as well. These are the ones that we want to say
Dr.
thank
Akwe,
you to.
thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Tuesday, 9 a.m., the Palms Convention Center, formerly Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn,
Okay,
yes.
and by 12 o'clock it's done?
We have 3 plenaries, so we
Okay.
may push it to 3.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So once you have been invited, please make sure that you attend. And if you haven't been invited, there's good news. You can catch it online. Check the BNFT page on Facebook, Instagram, all on social media, and you can get to learn a lot more from the Money Summit 2026 on Tuesday, June 2nd.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Akwe.
Thank you so much. Thank
Coming.
you.
Dr. Godwin Akwe, he's the CEO of Business and Financial Times. Thank you very much for your attention on that one. But all parents or first-year SHS boarding students, EduPack is here. The Ghana Education Service approved and supported National SHS initiative implemented by Prospectus Ghana. Well, it's in progress now, and it's very simple. Parents across the country are already registering so that their children's trunk, Macintosh mattresses, pillows, and plastic chop box will be ready and waiting at their school before reporting day. Now, do not delay and be caught in the usual Ghanaman last-minute market rush, carrying heavy items under pressure. With EduPack, your child does not need to travel to school with all these essentials, carrying them here and there. No. So to register, simply dial *713 *821 #, or you can visit any ADB branch or go to www.edupackgh.com. Now make payments, keep a receipt, and present it on opening day to collect all your child's EduPack items. Your EduPack registration follows you to any SHS you are placed. Avoid the stress, avoid the rush, prepare with confidence. All at a very, very affordable price. EduPack approved and supported by GES. And now, if you need more information, you can call 0500 600 607 0500 600 607. You can also call 0302 955 050 0302 955-050. EduPack, no stress, no wahala. We take a musical break. We'll be back with more here on TV3 Newday. In Weija, Bawe. And yesterday we're told that some 35 residents in Weija have been evacuated to safer locations by the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, as we all call them. Now, as authorities intensify rescue efforts following the continuous spillage of the Weija Dam by the Ghana Water Company. Well, several homes in Weija, Tetegu and surrounding communities have been submerged, forcing many residents to flee their homes in search of safety. And this morning, we do have the executive from NADMO to have a conversation. Dennis Nate, Greater Accra Regional Director, NADMO. We are making efforts to raise him on the telephone lines, but before we speak to him, please take a look at this.
The ongoing spillage from the Weija water treatment plant has led to rising water levels across affected communities, destroying properties and displacing thousands of families. A visit to the area on Thursday saw residents hurriedly moving their belongings to nearby communities, while others sought temporary shelter with relatives and friends. Later, a delegation from the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, led by the Regional Minister, Linda Akwele Oklu, together with military personnel and NADMO officials, toured some of the flood-hit communities to assess the extent of damage and ongoing rescue operations. The Greater Accra Regional NADMO Director disclosed that at least 35 residents had already been evacuated and accommodated in temporary shelters set up by the organization.
The dam will still be open as far as we receive heavy rains from Insawam. This dam is being fed by another dam at Insawam. So it means that as it's full now, it means that Insawam is spilling at full capacity. So this one, they are controlling the spillage. Now they are operating above their maximum operation level, that is 47 feet. They are doing 42 as of today. And these are updates that we receive from Ghana Water on daily basis. And we communicate same to the communities, so they are aware.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Akwele Oklu, appealed to residents to cooperate with emergency officials and relocate to safer areas to avoid casualties.
We are only pleading with them, like I said, they should agree to the evacuation, understand and evacuate. In fact, their life matters more than even everything. Sometimes they value their property than relocated, and so we'll plead with them that they should agree to it. I mean, this is a temporary arrangement we are doing. We'll bring them back when the place is okay.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Company says the controlled spillage of the Weja Dam will continue as long as water levels remain above operational capacity, raising concerns that more downstream communities could be affected in the coming days. Flooding in the catchment area in the Weja water treatment plant is not new. The Weja headworks sits on the Densu River, with the plant supplying about 80% of potable water to parts of Accra and its environs. Authorities have looked on while land within the dam's catchment area has been sold for residential development, threatening the safety and integrity of the dam. This attitude appears to permeate almost every aspect of national life in Ghana, and if nothing is done to address the trend, a future disaster could be far more devastating, leading to the loss of lives and properties. Joseph Armstrong, Good Alibu TV3, Weja, Accra.
So that's the current situation in Wejagbawe. And I think yesterday and 2 days ago, we saw the MP of the area, Jerry Ahmed Shaib, going around helping residents to come out or evacuate them from their homes and then giving some of them relief items as well. I am not sure what the total pack number of the constituency is, but to just evacuate or provide shelter or temporary places for just 35, well, it's a step in the right direction. Thank you to NADMO. But the question is, 35 out of thousands, where are we headed? And
I mean, it's worrying. And you see, we already have a flooding problem.
We do.
So the people of Weja are more or less like, it's a double challenge for them.
Yeah.
So there's the normal flooding that is happening with
and
the rains that
we are seeing. When it starts to rain as well.
All our major highways are flooded these days when it rains. I saw videos from at Domi Pillar 2. There's a bridge there. I saw the regional minister and the MP and the Works and Housing Minister, they had all gone there. I've seen newspaper clippings from the 1960s when Nkrumah was visiting flood-affected areas here in Accra. I've seen some from the 70s, the 80s, 90s, all the way. Like it's a perennial problem.
It's become a seasonal conversation and a seasonal debate. We are talking about it all the time. Now, you would ask that, doesn't dredging take place? The residents are saying that, well, they've seen a few dredging exercises here and there. Even the MP for the area himself the other day was inspecting some dredging that was going on. But residents will tell you...
And if you look at this video, you see that some of the structures are actually in waterways.
So that's what I was coming to.
Yeah.
So that's what I was coming to. Well, some of the residents will tell you that, first of all, dredging is inconsistent. It's not all the time. But this has become more than a dredging issue.
Yeah.
This is a serious urban crisis.
Yeah.
People are building in waterways in the constituency, and we are also looking at the challenge of plastics. Plastics have choked gutters everywhere. So where will the water pass?
Yeah.
And you know the normal Ghanaian attitude of, and I'm going to say this in tree, but where they enter, you know, that attitude does not even allow them to evacuate their homes before the rains come. Because a lay person just looks into the sky and says, yeah, it's cloudy, but I don't think that it will rain. Or even if it will rain, it will not be a lot. How are you able to determine that as a lay person? Because intermittently, Ghana Water Company will issue alerts and tell them that, listen, we're about to open the dam again because it's overflowing.
Let's think of it in practical terms. Where should they go?
That's the problem. They have nowhere to go.
If you told me today that I should move because the water is coming, so it's the reason why it's a bit of it's a substantive problem that we have to address holistically. In the first place, assemblies should not be allowing people put up structures
over there
in waterways. That's the starting point. The plastic thing I spoke about, there's a video that the bus stop boys put out at Malam Junction, where the whole Malam Junction place got flooded. And they tracked and went all the way and saw a big culvert that was completely filled with plastics. So that is what was causing a significant part of the flood that was taking place there. I mean, we need to seriously deal with this drainage sanitation challenge holistically. Else, every year we'll be having this conversation. I saw one of these videos that the guys were moving in a canoe Can you imagine?
moving
I saw
in a
that
canoe.
too.
Yes, I mean, it wasn't in Zulezu.
Yeah, it's here, right here in Accra.
Right here in Accra.
In
They were moving a road that they normally
and
walk
it's become
there.
normal. It's become a norm. It's very, very disturbing, extremely disturbing. And sometimes you would ask that, what is town and country planning also doing? Do these people even get permits to mount these structures? It's become a seasonal headache, and I'm not sure what we can really do about it, because out of the thousands of people there, I mean, if evacuation can just take about 35 people, then I mean, that's just a fraction of the community. We'll still talk about it. You can also contribute in the hashtag is TV3 Newday. If you're a resident of Wejagbawe, let's also know what your situation is. But let's get into birthdays this morning. If it's your birthday, invite us to enjoy the cake. It's Friday. Freye, Yabeba, Akable is hungry. He wants to eat jollof this morning already. After the jollof, you can have some cake. Francis Kofi Begua Pobi of Dabil at Accra International Airport. Happy birthday to you, Francis. Jifa, happy birthday to you. Your dimple is nice. Yabua, happy birthday to you as well. Vicentia, Etonam Vovo, Epoye, now it's from your husband. Nabila, my beautiful wife, enjoy. Have a great day, Nabila. All right. Vera, Chrissy, wishing you God's guidance. Happy birthday, ma'am. Justice Kofi Ampedu Wafa Nyamisha Obebre Yene Udiwa Woda. God bless you. Loretta Asibe Konedu. Happy birthday to you too, Loretta. AC Quentiwa Aqua Plus FM. You look beautiful in your jacket. Happy birthday to you.
I wonder who planted. I know her.
Oh yeah, you know her?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Very, very well.
I see. Millicent is not from you?
No.
Okay. Millicent Abam of Teshi, happy birthday to you as well. Uncle Chris Sowa sent in that one. Okay. Retired Chief Revenue Officer, Customs Division, GRA, Kwame Ajimambedu. Happy retirement and happy belated birthday to you, Uncle. Thank you for your dedication to Mother Ghana. Prosper Nyaho, happy birthday. It's from your in-law. Happy birthday to you. Pauline Nanaya Ajiman. This one is from your mother, the hot color lady. Okay. Owohene Patrick of 21 United Hands Foundation Network. Happy birthday to you, sir. Gladys Osei Esieduwa Negli. Is it Negli? Yeah. Happy birthday to you as well. Jemima Baba Krenzel, formerly of Electoral Commission. Happy birthday to you, Auntie Baba. Okay. Mrs. Caroline Sechi is from Akosia Royal Baby. Okay. Happy birthday, David Koblan. Be blessed from DJ Filter. Okay. Mavis Hajo. Enjoy your new chapter in life. All right. James Ofochu Dadibo. Is that correct? Yeah, Dadibo. I think so. Sorry if I didn't mention it right. It's from your adorable wife, JJ, and from King JJ as well. Ajua Yabua of Accra. This one is from Collins. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Kennedy, enjoy your day. It's from Sophia. All right. Queen from Mommy and the entire family. Queen, enjoy your birthday. Mause Emelda, happy birthdays from Ellie Klim to you. Okay. Sana, God bless you so much. Your boy on the side is nice. Happy birthday. Michelle, Miguel, and Michaela. Wow. Happy birthday to all of you. It's from your parents and Auntie Mavis. All right. Are we done? And your name, Kwashi, North Carnation, wishing you God's blessings and love from Belinda. And also, Patience are here for happy birthday to you. It's from Chief Inspector Martin Lajekbo. All right. Samuel Kwao works at Matayeko. Happy birthday to you, Samuel. Okay. Isaac Abuajiampong, God bless your new age. It's from Esiedu. Okay. Valerie Na Ade Sefa Call Jani at Akosomo International School. It's from your parents. She's so lovely, huh? Happy birthday to you, Angel. Happy birthday. Imelda Edem, God bless you abundantly. All right. Is that the last one? And belated happy birthday going out to the one and only Joseph
Akable Esquire. Esquire, happy birthday. God bless you. God increase you on every side. I'm waiting for the day that you'll be made Supreme Court judge and finally Chief Justice for our dear nation Ghana. And it will happen in the name of Jesus. When it happens, remember I said it here first on TV3 Newday when I was humbly co-host to the Supreme Court Justice of Ghana. Akable, enjoy your day. Nyamisha Obebre. How do you say Nyamisha in Nzima?
Nyami
Nyame Yirao. Nyame Yirao.
Oh no, I'm good. Don't say
Nyame Yirao, right? Happy birthday to you, Joseph.
Yeah, thank you. I saw the wishes you guys sent you and Roland on Wednesday.
We love you.
Yeah. I love you guys too.
We love you, and we love the transition because you used to be a lot more laid back and all, but these days, I like the vibe. Ubano power rapping, you know. Hey, Joseph Akable. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy the jollof. I told you it's on me, right? So I'll pay for the jollof. Sure. All right? Okay. Enjoy the rest of our programming. Have a great weekend. Beware of the rains and be safe wherever you may be. Thank you very much. I am Cookie T and I did this. I'm told this one is a song.
Yeah, Electric Energy.
Samini.